Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner and I'm here with my friend Sean Bell,
Hello.
my friend Matt Murray,
Hello.
and James Farley.
Hello. I was expecting that. I thought it's quite mean.
But too predictable.
Yeah.
One thing, listeners, that I found this week, which really made me laugh, was a website called rephonic.com, which appears to be, what I can make out, is an AI generated website that goes on to give lots of information about podcasts based on data that it's like, I assume it can pick up feeds and listens to the audio and picks up data. And there's a page on us. And my favourite thing about it is recent guests: Sean LeBode, guest and returning friend of the show; Pete Donaldson, guest from the Football Ramble podcast; Ellie Gibson, comedian and co-host of Scummy Mummies; Ian Lee, comedian, writer and radio presenter; James Farley, special guest on this episode.
That's outrageous. It's not even like, it doesn't even give me any build up or anything. It's just that's terrible.
It's also this guy.
Love that.
Hello. Do you? We would like to start the show by thanking our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap; Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights are Human Rights; Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Man, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, Mock Turtle Soup, My Dog Skip, Dean, and Steve the Nuke Littler. They're the Full Nels crew, and we love each and every one of them. Thank you so much for supporting the show. You too can support the show by going to patreon.com/TCGS. Different tiers. You don't have to go Full Nels. We like you more if you do. But there's bonus shows, and this week on Sunday, Matt, we are doing our video stream for our Patreon subscribers, aren't we? What are we doing, chaps?
Well, we found this indie game we're going to play. It's a 4-player game. We're quite excited for it. It's called Fortnite.
We have decided to try and get a battle royale. No, what they call it, a victory royale. In Fortnite. So we're all going to sit down as all men in our 40s, apart from Sean, although he acts.
Nearly.
And James.
Like not long, couple of weeks.
James in his 50s, isn't he?
That's not true.
But yeah. 1 week. No, it's the week after next. So I was trying to remember when my own birthday is.
Oh, he wants messages, people. He wants messages. That's why he's putting that out.
31st of March, guys.
How old are you this year? 39?
Yes. That's generally what comes before 40.
Fucking hell.
No, you're turning 40, aren't you?
Yeah.
I can't come to your birthday thing.
Right,
That's a shame, isn't it? You didn't come to mine, though, so I don't feel so bad.
What's so funny, though, is that it's literally just up the road from the Den as well, where we're going. It's like...
Yeah, I know I'm going to be at the Den, yeah. So maybe I do just stumble across. Absolutely.
Just tie your birthday card to a rock and just throw it.
Oh, God, the amount of jokes. Because that day, I'm going VIP to Millwall, right? My mum has...
35 quid, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is it. They're all the jokes that I've heard. This is what I was getting onto. The amount of jokes. Do you get a can of Stella instead of Foster's? Yeah, that's... it's that's going to be a very interesting... Considering when we did the tour, they got a sleeve of biscuits out and asked us to take a few more and put them in our pockets, because if we finish these, we get to open another packet. I love that club. Feedback from last week's show, Matt. Should we get onto that?
That club. Yeah. Ben has just messaged. I just want to say that my message last week about Sean being paid off by Capcom was meant as a joke, and was just hoping for a bit of banter on the pod from it. I'm sorry if it was took seriously and hurt Sean in any way.
No, I'm sorry, Ben. It's one of those things when you're.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was gutted.
When you are primed for criticism, it doesn't always.
Sean had his back up.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But then it's one of those, isn't it? It's tough because this has happened before, and we've been like, "Is this person being shitty, or are they just trying to have a laugh?" And obviously, we don't want listeners to get to a point where they have to put P.S. I am joking.
Yeah. JK, JK.
But also, yeah, like when you just obviously you get these sort of semi-anonymous messages, you're just like, oh, well, that's clearly someone taking the piss again. Fucking right. Yeah. Sorry.
You don't have to apologise, Sean.
You do still seem angry about it though, Sean. I don't. I
No,
get
I'm
that's.
I'll tell you what.
I feel
I was trying to like ensure that there would be no anger because I was going to put that Skate has got microtransaction story in the news, but I decided not to.
Oh no, the skate stuff's horrendous. But yeah.
Yeah, but why are they reporting about it now, Sean?
Exactly, it's not even out yet.
Because it's just been announced. No, that's the whole point. Is it's horrendous because they're putting microtransactions in a pre-alpha game.
Yeah,
The game isn't out. I don't think we should judge it until it's fully out.
No, yeah, until I've paid £79 to, change my skateboard.
And then it's fine.
Yeah, we should never really truly judge a game before it's out. What do you think of the new Quantic Dream Star Wars game, James? What are your feelings towards?
I don't think it's ever going to come out. So it's,
Well, they promise it's still coming out, James, and I believe them.
It's not going to come out.
Next bit.
I bet. No, okay, no, can't. Not yet.
Next bit of feedback.
The real sprinkles. The real spinkles. Gents, I'm concerned that Mr. Bell has been replaced by Safi from Double Exposure. Sean has always
That's
been
a reference that only 4 people in the world will get.
I mean, less than that if you see the news later, probably.
Sean has always been a calm voice of reason, sitting on the fence until his bum hurts. Advocate for fairness and rationalism. Rationalism? Yeah. Yet in the past few weeks, it seems he has been replaced by a mean version. Twice recently, he has attacked Mr. Farley during the news for misleading headlines, seemingly getting unusually aggravated that the headline does not reflect the story before James even has a chance to read the story and add nuance. Add nuance, James. Okay. Here's
There's loads of nuance.
Yeah.
I've got reams of nuance here.
Okay. His defense of Monster Hunter's pay to slay monetization of character creation was so out of character for your long-term champion of fairness. And then we have the fantasy critics scandal. After hearing you originally discuss the game, I set up a small league of 4 friends and, like Sean, tried my best to patiently describe the rules while my friends seemed, probably deliberately, unable to grasp the basic concepts. But I love them and wanted them to have the fairest experience. So we have 1 bidding week per month where I set the rules for them to follow and I regularly remind them to place bids before the deadline. Now, don't get me wrong, they still fuck it up, but it is transparent and fair. Sean quietly making unchallenged bids is the most un-Sean behaviour and was the final clue that something is amiss. Please try and verify that Sean Bell is indeed actually Sean Bell and not a shape-shifting imposter. Love the show. It's my only guaranteed weekly podcast listen, and I'm just a concerned listener who wonders what Safi Bell has planned. Big love from Matt.
I mean, the news stuff. James reads out like those headlines are written to be inflammatory and make you click on the thing.
Yeah, of course.
James have to do
believes
that.
them.
James doesn't have to read those out. He can just read out an accurate version of the information.
No.
Rather than reading out something misleading first.
No,
and then
because
go, but I'm going to contextualize. You're going to explain that what you just said isn't actually correct.
No, this is not
So
true
why
because
say it in the first place?
Because the thing is, right, is the news, Sean, has been sourced from a website.
Right.
And if I don't use the headline that the website has used, then I'm kind of like plagiarising it. So I have to, give the actual actual thing.
No, you're not.
Surely by repeating,
And you never
the
credit
headline.
them anyway.
No, you're doing the opposite. By repeating the headline, you're plagiarising it.
Yeah, you're plagiarising
By
even more.
changing it, you're editorialising it.
You two, I don't know if you noticed that, but you both went, "No, you're not. No, you're not," and he went, "Yeah."
It's more fun though, isn't it? It's like, it's more fun.
Okay.
What's more fun?
Okay.
Yeah,
Just read saying things that aren't true.
No, the controversial headlines. This is what this industry, lives for. Is this kind of stuff?
We can be better, James. We
You
don't
wouldn't
have
have
to play
to do
that
that.
game.
I don't want to be better.
It doesn't
We'll roll
work
around
either.
in the muck with
It doesn't
VGC
work doing that
ignoring.
on the podcast either, James, because people are already like an hour in. Like you're supposed to do that at the front to get people involved, but you're already an hour in at this point. You either like us or you don't.
I'm not going to start
A lot of people
editorialising the headlines. I think that would be a misrepresentation.
Yeah, there's a headline right here.
They
It'd
have
be a
been
misre-
editorialised, James.
It'd be a misrepresentation of the original vision of the article that I'm quoting from.
What's happened here? Have you been bought by Eurogamer?
Mostly from Video Games Chronicle these days, Matt.
Oh yeah, you switched.
Ain't it funny? Neither of those have got the money for James Farley right about now.
And I'm looking forward to the headline later of like Whammo, Blammo, Shocko. It was a somewhat won it, you know, all the classics. All the classics.
Blammo, Shocko. What are you talking about?
I don't even know why I was laughing at that because I'm not
sure. On headlines of like Wacko Jacko and
that was Wacko Jacko, not Slabbo Blammo Piano.
I don't... It's just some other, you know. I was mixing
at
up
least the episode title's sorted anyway.
Playing with it. I mean, I haven't written it down, so what was that?
Well, you better write it down because I know you don't like.
I can't both talk and write. Was it Whammo Blammo? I can't do both, David.
Well, you're editing. You can pick it up from that.
Fuck's hell! Right, I'm saying it. I'm writing it. And I'm editing it. What else do you want to do?
Just don't editorialize it, Matt. While you're doing
I
it.
would. So I'll just edit, not editorialize. Should we move on?
Listeners, Matt really hates it when it's something that he says that makes the episode title. He hates it because about 3 years ago, someone sent in some feedback saying, "Why is it always Matt's quotes that are the
even though
episode
it was one episode title in like a month or whatever."
He's clearly not even been like you. Yeah, you seem over it, Matt. You seem over it.
Yeah. I'd just rather avoid anything about. Should we move on? Sam has messaged, "Hello chaps, I was listening to the pod on the drive to work this morning, and after the Xbox handheld chat, I wanted to share that I traded in my Steam Deck for an ROG Ally. And I was annoyed at having to pay for the games I was entitled to."
Sorry, Sean was just taking a sip of drink then. I thought he was going to spit it out like in that. What?
It's okay. Is it Ally or Ali? It's Ally, isn't it?
Ally.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it's a ROG Alley either. It's
it's like the Republic of Gamers, so I assume it's ROG. Doesn't matter. I was annoyed at having to pay. What did I say?
No. It's not a real Republic. It's a little joke. It's all right.
Okay, I was annoyed at having to pay for games I was entitled to for free on PC Game Pass, but I found the PC handheld to be genuinely excellent. It's smaller and lighter than the deck, and while it does have some issues, battery life is shorter, SD card issues on some models, I'm extremely pleased with my purchase, and I found performance to be better than the deck a lot of the time because it has more powerful internals. Windows is not designed for that form factor at all, but I do have to do some tinkering and faffing about, so I do just hook it up to my monitor, keyboard and mouse. I also wonder if by launching a next-gen Xbox in 2027, Microsoft is trying to do the 360 again by being first to market with next-gen, then try to rebuild their market share from there. I still do think Xbox is short of a genuine 10 out of 10, but they built a library of solid 7 to 8s, and because of Game Pass, I'll likely buy the next one over PS6. Maybe their Portal Xbox handheld will be the new Series S in the lineup.
This is referring to the story about Microsoft bringing out a handheld potentially this year.
Yes.
Did we cover that last week?
We did, yeah. That's what this email is in reference to, I think.
Yeah. I mean, and people saying now it's going to be summer. I'm like, fucking hell, is it really going to go from nowhere to summer? And is it just really going to be like a Lenovo or something? I mean, that
From Nowhere to Summer is another excellent episode title.
That's an album title, that is.
From Nowhere to Summer. No, what was your album title that you've always wanted to do?
Oh,
Tomorrow
hang on.
was yesterday's.
It's like
yesterday was.
Yes, hang on. Tomorrow was. No, hang on, I've got this. It was really.
Matt said that if he ever made an album,
you remember that?
This is the title. Ready? Yeah,
I
remember it.
It was. Today was yesterday's tomorrow. That
really makes you think.
I mean, yesterday was. Yeah, that's so clever, isn't it?
I'm not sure I can carry on podcasting after that. I think
I'm weeping.
Today was yesterday's tomorrow. I am a genius. Anyway. I think Xbox does have some 10 out of 10s. Forza Horizon 2 is a 10 out of 10.
Yes.
5 even.
Horizon 2.
They've released a few since then.
Okay,
Forza
next.
Horizon, I say, is a 9/10 out of 10 game. Yeah, for sure. Go on. You said 10s, so there must be another one.
Yeah, think about it now. No, I mean, yeah. Okay, next bit of feedback.
It doesn't matter anyway because there's not any 10s on PlayStation either, is there? Let's be honest.
Well, of course there are.
I mean, like, okay, PlayStation 5. What is there any game on there you consider to be?
But when you say, hold on. When you say 10s, we shouldn't be saying 10s. We should be saying 9s, right? Because like 10s are like truly exceptional. Whereas like,
that's only what Sam is mentioning here about Xbox is short of a genuine 10 out of 10.
So you're saying there are no 10 out of 10s on PS5, James?
I don't think there are.
What, Astrobot?
Astrobot.
God of War Ragnarok?
That's a good point, actually. Astrobot. Didn't think of that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I was wrong. I mean, like, I guess technically it's a PS4 game, but Last of Us Part 2 is 10 out of 10 for me. That's...
Yeah, what do you mean technically a PS4 game? It was a PS4 game.
Yeah, so technically it was a PS4 game, but it's out on PS5. It's out on PS5 though, so...
Yeah, but Halo was a 10 out of 10. Like, Combat Evolved was a 10 out of 10. And you could play that on your Xbox Series
Yeah,
X.
but, but Last of Us Part 2 was re-released on PS5, so it's more of a legit game than like Halo 1 that came out in the Master Chief Collection.
Re-released.
Technically, I think I was right, technically.
Have you not seen the PS5 Pro version, David? It looks, exactly the same.
No, but I bet you were fucking mad have.
Have not. Right? Haven't yet.
No,
James, I know.
We need to get ahead of this, actually, James, because James and I have not bought PS5 Pro yet.
I don't yet believe you.
There's a lot of yet.
Look at
being thrown around.
Look at his little face. Look at his little triangle mouth. Matt Murray's little triangle mouth.
I must have the smallest mouth in podcasting, I think.
What does that mean?
I can just make it incredibly small if I want to. Anyway, this is for the viewers. Where were we?
The smallest mouth in podcasting. That's a tagline.
That just sounds like he never speaks. Someone's got a big mouth. It's like, oh yeah, I've got the tiniest mouth going, mate.
What the fuck is this podcast?
Good stuff. I like this.
I don't know, where were we? Anyway,
Little triangle mouth has got to be the episode title, says Sarah Dyer.
James, you're saying Xbox has more 10 out of 10s than PlayStation?
No, I'm saying that PlayStation hasn't got any either. It's like
and then we said Astrobot, and you went, "Oh yeah."
This generation has been overall, I wouldn't say I'd say disappointing. Actually,
it's been disappointing from first party
Yeah.
perspective for sure. I think there's been some incredible games, but they're just not be coming from Sony or Microsoft. But then I would say Astrobot's definitely up there. And do you remember when we were all excited about Starfield?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a weird time.
There's been more rumours that's coming to PS5. It's
I mean,
don't bother.
What's the point of having a rumour? It's going to come out on PS5. And that will get 10 out of 10s, I reckon. Should we move on?
Yes.
Yep.
Rascal Fist has messaged feedback. Good to hear Matt is getting us tapped finally. Bit of a heads up. I was at my tattooist last week and she swears that the arse is the sorest of all the places to get inked. Something about the amount of nerve endings. Everyone thinks because it's the flabbiest place, it'll be fine and they get a shock. Mega lol's mad of the night.
I've been telling him this every time it comes up.
I know, but
he won't have it. So
I know because he keeps on saying, "Oh no, it's the side."
Yeah, side of the arse.
It's the side.
Well,
of the
I
arse.
moved it to the side. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Is that
completely different?
I like that the reason that it's is not scientific at all because of the amount of nerve endings.
Yeah.
It's like probably. I was
Every
thinking
time you
today,
sit down, you're like, ooh.
I was trying, yeah. What a shit place to put all your nerve endings, God.
Because wouldn't that be like the whole arse would then just be a massive erogenous zone, wouldn't it?
It is,
Well,
isn't it,
Sean?
Sean?
Yeah. It's,
You should.
You had a nibble on it.
So.
I was thinking about this today because where my brain goes is that I know you guys are coming over, and I'm like, right. So what have I got to do? I've got to get this sorted, I guess that sorted before they come over. Then what time? I wonder what time they're coming. I'll have to work out what we're going to do that evening. You know what I mean? Like that's where my head's at. And then I just thought, oh yeah, and the next day Matt's got to have a Wookiee tattooed on his ass. Like that is really starting to hit home now that maybe this isn't the best idea we've ever had.
Well, it's happening.
We
can't
back out now. That would be. We might as well turn the podcast off forever if we back this out.
Sure, but I do want it on record that I don't think this is a good idea because the reality
a bit fucking
of
late
it
for that.
Well, it wasn't my idea in the first place, Matt. Don't have a go at me, mate.
You were kind of egging us all on.
Well, no, I wasn't, was I?
yeah, you were until you realised.
No, I said don't do it, boys. Don't do it.
Oh, let's stop this.
I do remember you being. I remember you being kind of like, I don't know what's happened here. I can't believe this has happened. I remember.
I may or may not have come up with the idea of a Wookiee, but other than that, I don't know. The fact that you're actually going ahead on this because of a game that you didn't even play in the end.
I know. And that stream where I told you, unbelievable.
Hold on, Sean. Have you? Is it playable on Steam Deck?
Jedi, which one? Sorry,
The
Outlaws.
Outlaws. I don't know. I assume so.
You've got to play it on Steam Deck while you're getting the tattoo done, Matt.
That would be a very good idea.
What a shot that was!
Actually, just got to me, just being like, "This is shit." Why would you?
You got to tweet. I mean, you got to tweet that. At EA.
Love this game so much, bros.
I have to check. You carry on.
All right, okay.
Yeah. Kurt Lewin with the last bit of feedback for this week. Feedback regarding David saying he would like to see what Hazelight could do with a single-player game. I'm not sure if it's classed as a Hazelight game or just Joseph Fares, but they kind of have done this with their first game, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is great. If you haven't played it, cheers.
It kills me because we've all played it apart from James Farley.
No, I played it.
It kills. Oh, you have played it now?
Yeah, I played it ages ago. Yeah.
When we brought it up like about a couple of years ago, you said you hadn't played it, and I was like, "You've got to play it. You would love it." Did you?
Yeah,
love
I did.
It?
I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I had a great time. With
Such a good game.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely
forgot
right.
that. Yeah, it's well because I know.
It's weird
from what I heard is that it was him. He was part of a team rather than it was like one of his games. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, he's still part of a team now.
No, I get that. Yeah, all right. You worked in the gaming industry, Matt. We get it. But
Yeah, you know how it works, David. So shut up, James.
They added the co-op mode to that as well. Like you can play it with like two people because me and Asher tried
Doesn't that completely destroy the?
Yeah,
Hang on. So what happens?
It doesn't work because it's really weird. I mean, on the version I played, it was like the left, like on your controller, like the one player is controlling the left stick, and then the other player is controlling the right stick on another controller, and it's a bit weird. Like the whole thing is a bit strange.
God. I mean, the whole point, the whole ending, is supposed to be you dealing with that. Oh, okay, whatever. Fine, but yeah, good point, Kurt.
Mini games in that though? I can't remember. Are there mini games, James? I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
Mini games. Star Wars Outlaws does not work on the Steam Deck.
Oh right, okay, fine.
Well,
Looks
okay.
like Xbox.
I guess I'll bring my PC then, shall I?
Does it work on the ROG Ally?
Probably, yeah. We need to bring that new Xbox handheld with us. That'll
It'd be well fucking funny if your PC couldn't handle it, Matt.
Oh, this PC can handle everything I've thrown at it so far.
Whoa! Well, it's interesting you should say that, Matt. Because just out of curiosity, I had a look at your Steam profile earlier.
Oh yeah.
Would anyone care to guess what the last?
Wait, hold on. We've got to explain for the people that don't know, didn't pick this up. Matt's just spent £3,000 on a PC. I mean, and then look, you could see he's a bit embarrassed about it.
No,
it's a lot of money to. No, you're happy with it. Yeah. And even on last week's show, when we brought up the fact that he'd paid £3,000 for a PC, Matt went, "Oh, I'm not playing video games on it." And I was like, "What the fuck are you doing on it, then, Matt? Why
yeah, just mostly for the pod and stuff, isn't it?
Well, for Audacity.
Well, I wanted to buy something. Well, I didn't have to upgrade it for 1,000 years, basically.
Okay.
And the only way to get a 5080 card really is to get like a pre-built. So actually, I won't ruin it, Sean. But yeah, tell me.
Sean,
I think I know which game it is.
Go on.
I mean, I can't tell you.
Guess what the last Steam game Matt played was.
Can I guess?
When?
Was that Half-Life thing?
Yeah, that was good. It's Half-Life 2, wasn't it?
No, it's more recent than that.
No, I haven't played Half-Life 2 yet.
Okay.
No, it was Half-Life Black Mesa, the reboot thing that the fans did.
No, it wasn't that. I'll put you out of your misery. It was Vampire Survivors, and it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's
right.
Right.
That PC.
Yeah, I've not installed a game on this thing yet. I will do one day.
Probably should.
Yeah, probably should.
What's the game that would show off how good a new
Sean's
PC
already
is?
told me this.
Yeah, it's Cyberpunk with all the path tracing.
Path tracing, yeah.
Looks
really
fucking real. Yeah, you've not seen it.
No.
Stunning.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I will. But, but it's 50 quid. But I barely have enough time to play console games, let alone PC games.
Have a look on CD keys. It'll be
is it? Is it a lot cheaper there?
Also, you just spent $3,000 on a PC, Matt. I mean, what's another 50 quid? To try
50 quid on top, actually. It's a lot of
money.
money.
How the fuck have you not got time to do this? You don't even commute anymore. Surely you've got bags of time.
No, I've got no time.
Swimming in time.
A new term, baby. Just to
Man
answer
of the
Shai's
day.
question is, I've installed Steam. I just haven't played anything on it yet. But maybe I will. I do want to. The other day I was thinking, man, I can actually play games on this thing. That sounds.
I mean,
great.
Vampire Survivors has had loads of updates as well since,
true.
so you might want to get back on that.
I do want to play a new Half-Life 2 RTX thing.
Right, okay.
That's for
Should we
sure.
get to the news?
Yeah,
So
there's
the
more
Ultimate
feedback.
Edition of Cyberpunk is 27 quid on CD keys.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll actually. That's something tempting.
It's
No, the
also
other-
one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, no, honestly, although I did say, no, not for game, I just want to buy something.
Cyberpunk,
Yeah,
one of the best games ever made.
easily.
Oh, I could not disagree with you
You haven't
about
played
that.
the
It's-
expansion.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
expansion is
I've
very
played.
good.
I've played a
Expansion's so
good
good.
2 hours of the expansion. It was all right. I wouldn't say Cyberpunk's one of the best games ever made, though.
It totally is. I mean, it's
Okay.
embarrassing that it took them 3 years of it being out to get there.
Sure, but I'm even talking about the version that I played like last year. You know, it's a good game. Like, it's a good game. I'm not saying it's a bad game, right? Not one of the best games ever made, Sean.
Yeah.
Check yourself.
I
Is
did,
that it
actually.
Yes. Go to tcgs.co/dear-tcgs. I will say the other day I was thinking, oh, hang on, I've got like a whole new kind of gaming platform here. I just haven't acted on it yet.
Yeah,
but
no shit.
maybe I will.
But
Maybe I
the thing
will.
is, what the like, because PC gaming isn't what it used to be. You know, obviously back in the day, it was like, holy shit, I've got a good PC. I can like play all this stuff that won't run on consoles. Whereas now it's more like, well, no, you get access to a load of cool indie stuff, but not necessarily stuff that's going to push a $3,000 rig. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And just another thing, I think it was Ben or someone said in the chat, but does it run Crysis? The funny thing is that in the new 50 series cards, they've removed something called Physics 3D, which means old games don't run or run incredibly powerful. There's like, I think it might be Crysis, it runs like 20 frames a second because of them removing this old kind of a legacy thing for older games. So,
Cool.
anyway.
Speaking of new platforms, we're just 2 weeks away from hearing about what the fuck the Switch 2
Yes.
is.
Oh god.
Yeah,
yeah,
April
soon, isn't
2nd.
it?
Is it coming out next month?
No.
No, it'll be, I assume it'll be.
Nah, because they're doing the world tour
June?
thing first, aren't they? So
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
no-
trying to remember. How soon after the world tour for the Switch that the actual Switch come out? Because I'm sure it was very soon after that.
Do you know? I'm going to give you an exact date. I reckon it's going to come out the 6th of June.
All right.
There you go.
But hang on, but I think the last time I checked, the most recent dates in the tour, like the last two that haven't got dates for, and the ones we have seen, would go up to the 14th of June, right?
Yeah.
So I think like is it Shanghai and Hong Kong, there's no dates or there weren't dates for.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna say end of June, I would say, but yeah, I can't believe 2 weeks
That would
time we'll see
suck.
Switch 2.
We have to wait another 2 months. That would suck a bit. wouldn't
Am
it?
I still the only one who's going to be watching that during the day?
Yeah, I work for a living.
Just tell them you've got an appointment.
No, that's not how work works.
It
Not
is.
when you're not when you're one of the
I'm
big
not when I'm a
dogs,
big
mate.
boy like David.
Yeah, I've actually got something to do. I've
You'll
got
get
something
there,
in that
Sean.
evening. That's annoying, but I'm gonna have to. I've got something to do in that evening as well, which is. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find something else around it because I want to watch
There
that
is
live.
part of me that wants to
Just
avoid
put-
it, and then
An hour in your calendar, private appointment. You don't
But if
have
you want to do a
tell
stream-
anyone what you're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, that's April.
Okay.
you wonder why you're going nowhere, Sean. It's things like this. It's things like
Everyone's
this.
going to watch just me streaming it during the day and be like, that guy is committed to content.
Also, you're fired. Says boss.
Okay.
No, I'm declaring. I'm not like. Do you not have flexi time at your workplaces?
I work in an office with grown-ups.
Okay.
And in the 90s.
Where do you think I work?
No, you're not working in the office.
No. No.
Oh, right. Well, there you go then. That's probably the difference, isn't it? I can't
Well,
just
no, but
fuck
even
off home.
before
work from
then,
home
we,
now,
we
so,
always we've always operated on flexi time. So I just take an hour out of the day
Well,
and put it in
I'm
somewhere
sorry, but we don't. All right,
else. All right.
because we work hard and then we play hard.
Sorry, your
right.
workplace
I
isn't
mean,
alive.
there was a workplace I just got involved in like teams, I think. So a lot of Filofaxes, isn't there?
It is
There's
true.
Rolodex on the desk.
My office. my
Online
office
calendar,
is
what?
quite- yeah, my office is
Send
quite
me a
dated.
fax.
Yeah.
Excel.
fax out.
You need an abacus, mate. Come on.
Fax by end of day, please.
All right, let's not take the piss.
Oh, let's.
Um,
Where are we? Okay, move on.
So, I'm sorry our office isn't all frappuccinos and scooters, Matt.
I don't have a
David, are
fucking
you
office
telling
anymore,
me?
actually,
Are you
David.
telling me that there's no beanbags in your office?
There was no beanbags. And if we brought it in, we'd be laughed out.
Oh, I miss the scooters.
Not saying, let's have our fourth break of the day. That's why you work in... Anyway, news, James. Come on. This is a
episode's
really weird
mental
one, isn't
already.
it?
Actually,
This
can
is a
I
really
can I
weird
can I
one.
ask a question, Matt? Did
Yeah.
you have any segways in the office?
No. We had regular scooters. Segways.
Just normal scooters. Oh, well, that's fine. then.
Segways, James. They are thousands of pounds. I mean, no. I mean, scooters are
We
enough.
had just regular scooters.
No, because I was going to say, I was so close to saying, like, foot-powered scooters. And I thought, that's wrong. But anyway, regular old scooters. I think we had 4 or 5 of them. They were
Yeah, but the
loving
fact
them.
that you genuinely had scooters, I thought you were joking. Like, I thought
No,
that was
we
a
had- yeah, we had-
long-running joke.
No, scooters, table tennis, pool.
What were the hang on? What were the scooters for?
Just
Like, I
because
mean-
people couldn't be bothered, like, walking up and down the office, so, like, scooting from
big
one end to the
was it?
other.
Yeah, was it like a warehouse or something?
It was pretty massive. I mean, I would say probably too big for the size of the company.
Right, okay, let's move on.
Oh, that's done, James.
Oh, okay.
This might be the most bizarre regular show we've done. We've done more bizarre Patreon bonus
Good.
shows, but this is
James, news.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking.
Sorry, I need to.
It's
compose
like
myself.
one of us isn't here. It's like one of us isn't here.
Yeah,
it's one of
it's
those
like a
shows,
silly-
but we're
yeah.
all here, which is scaring me a little. Go on.
Yeah, sorry. Hang on. I need to compose myself. Sorry, I had to get the air back in because I nearly had an accident there, which wasn't good. You know.
I mean, if James had died then, I'd have been like, do you know what, Matt? Fair play. You've earned that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was a good
How
joke.
awkward would the fucking funeral be, though? Like, yeah, so it was
Turn
him.
around to go, right,
Yeah,
over
you'd be
there.
going-
He's the one. He
Yeah,
fucking
he did it.
No, he'd be going around with his phone and saying, "Do you want to hear the bit? Do you want to hear the bit where it happens?"
I'll bring a projector. We'll just play the clip.
Yeah, well, after eulogy, it's like, well, he's a great man, but
I'm not going to Germany for that. Imagine
No,
that.
I'd get
going
it.
all the way over
No,
there
No,
for
we
that.
get him brought over here.
Yeah, I get
yeah,
to get the remains
we'll get him
repatriated.
to here like a war. You know,
if we
like a
do
war
that,
hero,
can
with
we
like
put
the,
him? Can we
with the
put his
Union
body?
flag on the coffin?
No. Can we put his body underneath a helicopter and make it spin around really quickly as it ships
And
over?
then we'll give him an at-sea burial as well.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be so good.
News.
Anyway, Microsoft are doing Xbox AI stuff.
Hooray.
Yeah.
It's what
So-
everyone wants.
So this is Copilot for gaming, and it's an AI. They're calling it an AI-driven sidekick. That Microsoft is saying
God.
is designed to be your personalized gaming companion. So what it will do is it will give you assistance if you ask for it.
Gone off
during
Cortana now, have
gameplay.
you?
And also, like, so they give the example where they said, like, if you're playing Minecraft and you pick up some wood, then you enter like a text prompt saying, "Okay, I've got some wood. What can I do with that?" Copilot will then explain how to like craft wooden planks and shit. That's
I know
what
that's
it'll
just
do.
an example, but for fuck's sake.
I mean, the next one's worse, I think. So the other example was if you open the Xbox app, you can then type in, "I want to get back into Age of Empires 4. Can you install it?" And then it'll install it for you.
What?
I mean, you could just click on it and just click install, but if you type in a prompt, it'll do
Okay,
it.
right. This is bollocks, but it means saying, "Hey, install Age of Empires." It is quicker than me going to store, typing, searching, clicking. That is quicker,
Put a
right?
fucking microphone in the Xbox then. That's what we've been
I
saying
know.
for
Well,
years.
that's what we've been saying for years. I put it in the pad.
We.
But then
That was it.
also-
You change that from me to
We as a
we.
collective.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
there is one feature from this that does sound potentially useful. So they said that, like, when you do this, it will then provide a recap of what happened last time you played, which is that's not a terrible idea, you know,
That's
because
not a terrible idea.
You got spanked by Gamer Noob 69.
yeah. And then, well, in fact, actually, that's not going to happen because that's the other thing that Copilot will help you with. So they gave another example of if you're playing, like, say, Overwatch, and you want to know who to choose, like which player to play as, it will look at the team and then work out which one you should choose to get, you know, so the team's more well balanced and stuff.
But like,
Like,
what's
this
that-
just sounds
what's that
awful.
being-
It sounds like fucking being on Twitch.
It does.
That's what it sounds
We
like.
are on Twitch right now, David.
All right, look, okay. It's another scenario. there's also as a demo where they'll critique your gameplay and then say
fine.
why you
Good.
failed. You know,
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Not
shite.
getting
Your
an Xbox.
shit is like what I don't like with like the guides sort of stuff. Like, oh, I'm stuck on this bit. How do I do it? Whatever. What's that being fed with? Because if it's fucking guides from websites,
It
they're the only things
has to
keeping
be,
they're keeping the fucking lights on these days.
It has to be, surely.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
You know when PlayStation had those cards, things like the videos, and hey, if you're stuck in a certain section, those were just recorded by other players, right? I mean, I never used one in once.
When
I'm not
it
sure if I had
first
many
came
games even
out, I
utilised
think
them.
like Astrobot, I think the one that comes packed in, that had like developer
Yes, that
videos
had
and stuff.
some, yeah.
But then they seem to just be like, yeah, we'll just let the community make these now because obviously developers aren't going to have time or want to do that. So yeah, that's. But then that whole like game tips and things never really seem to happen anyway. Like I've not really seen that with hardly any games.
I can only
No.
imagine this. I mean, if it's anything like my experience with AI so far, and I know there'll be people saying, "Oh, actually, it is really useful for X, Y, Z." Yes, not denying that. I reckon this is going to turn out loads of really useless suggestions and information that just doesn't work.
And you
But
turn it
yeah,
off really quickly.
Yeah.
I was saying this to Matt as well. Like, I don't know if this is AI led, but it felt like it. Did you get that update on your OLED TV, Matt? Your LG TV?
Which one?
You all right, Matt? Are you okay? You with us?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just
Are you saying which TV?
The
Matt?
update we spoke
Yeah,
about
well,
at the
I'm-
weekend.
I haven't updated my TV over the weekend. I've got better things to do.
Right,
mate.
okay. So on the LG, sorry, some of us are not out every fucking night.
Me neither.
Okay.
Out.
TV update.
It's out on the scooter.
Segue, mate.
Everyone's just using AI for like just random shit now, and it looks like the fucking LG TV. I was watching something, and it come up on the thing. Hey, you can buy products from this television program. Click here, and I was like, I am not happy about that.
No.
I am not
Well,
happy about that.
Yeah, one thing I did see, I'm not sure if it's a recent update, but someone else showed me a picture of basically a little thing on the bottom of the screen saying you can watch other things while watching the main bit of TV. So you can click that and it shows other things on the side or the bottom, like as if basically second screen TV while you're watching the main TV. Ridiculous.
Leave me alone. I don't want any of this anymore. Leave me.
I want to look at my own
alone.
phone in private, thank you, without having
Yeah.
them on TV.
I don't
Anyway,
like it.
I think largely, this sounds silly, but we've also said that Xbox One had voice controls from minute one. They got ripped out because people were ripping into it, and it was no one wanted to connect. But in many ways, they felt like ahead of the time of all the voice assistants we've got these days. But they stopped that. This could be useful, but the examples aren't particularly great. But if I can shout to my Xbox install a game, that's quicker than going to a store for sure. But I don't know, AI-driven sidekick and asking for help about balancing teams don't seem like I'm going to be using that when there's when there's 10 seconds counting down.
I mean,
And that's the
Microsoft's-
fucking guy that needs it. Like, Matt will need this.
this
This
is
is how
my
you
best
do the
buddy.
puzzle. And, yeah.
That's a bit out of order. I know a puzzle.
Well, it's truthful.
I can do a
isn't
puzzle.
it?
I can do game facts.
I wonder how far away. Not that I think this is going to work necessarily, but I wonder how far away they are from trying, just letting the game take over your inputs for 2 minutes. Like, can you just do this bit for me?
Wasn't
Yeah, but I
that what
bet we
Sony
can't be
was
that far
talking
away.
about?
Yeah, they talked about doing that as being it would help you with sections of the game or whatever. But-
That'd be so good.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck,
technically-
I've got this game finished before the pod, just bang autopilot. I'm like,
With the pad over, whoa.
yeah, I'm doing streams I'm doing this, guys. I'm definitely killing the boss.
Technically, Nintendo did it as well, didn't they? There was like Mario levels that you could press a button and it skip you through it, didn't it?
okay.
Yeah, they did
fucking
that.
dabble with that.
yeah, they did that.
Yeah.
They also
so
did it
not
with the
unique.
recent Donkey Kong as well. Like if you died a load of times, it was like, do you want Donkey Kong to show you how to get through this level? And then it did it for you.
So,
Cool.
yes, please.
Donkey
You're going to
Kong.
introduce that for
Doesn't
every
work.
aspect of my life. Just get
Donkey
Donkey
Kong.
Kong show you how
Yeah,
to
I'm
do
thinking
it.
like AI, Donkey.
DK's going to show you how it's
doesn't
fucking done.
work. No, but for that.
Okay, there's some more AI news because
Cool.
also Sony did the thing where they were showing off like an AI version of Aloy, and they were like asking it questions like "How are you?" and then like the character said "Okay," but dealing with a sore throat. whatever. But then also Ashley Birch, who is the voice of Aloy, has been like talking about this because not particularly happy. She said, "I saw the tech demo earlier this week. None of my facial or voice data was used, and because Gorilla owns Aloy as the character." She said, "I feel worried, not worried about Gorilla specifically or Horizon or my performance or my career specifically. Even I feel worried about this art form. We're asking for protections. What we are fighting for is you have to get our consent before you make an AI version of us in any form. You have to compensate us fairly, and you have to tell us how you're using this AI double." And she then spoke at it's the SAG-AFTRA strikes, isn't it, that are going on at the moment for the for video game writing and making the whole thing. I'm explaining it really badly. And she just said, "I want to be able to continue to do this job, and if we don't win, then that future is really compromised. I'm genuinely not trying to put any game company specifically on blast, certainly not Guerrilla, because again, I don't think the technology isn't the problem. Game companies wanting to use the technology isn't the problem. The problem is we are currently on strike, and the bargaining group will not agree to give us common sense protections." And yeah, it is gross.
Fair fucking play. That is a good statement.
Yeah.
Fully support her on that. Like that. Yeah, I mean, what a fucking great way of putting it. You could see what the issue is here, and I'd be fuming. If,
Yeah, I mean,
if
like,
that
the
was my
video
career
that came
on
out
my
last
line,
week or the
you
week
know.
before it looked embarrassing. And anyway,
It was so shit. Was it? I wasn't entirely clear. Was it something that was meant for public consumption? Because it
I think
felt
so.
like it wasn't.
I think it was because I think they're trying to just float. Look, we're using AI. Shareholders, look, we're using AI, and you should be happy about that.
It was so fucking bad.
yeah, it says
doesn't
it's
it,
a
like-
leak, which has revealed it's working on AI-driven characters, but
Yeah, and doesn't like AI Aloy just shit out a spoiler partway through or something as well?
I don't know.
Yeah, so apparently, like there's because obviously the character doesn't necessarily know which bits of the game you've done, I guess. So yeah, there's potential
doesn't
that
really
just
matter.
say stuff out of context, and you're like, all right, cheers, thanks for that.
She's like, my story arc is rubbish. Yeah, it was. This is leaked video footage from an early AI Aloy prototype
leaked,
narrated by
right.
the director of software engineering at PlayStation. It took 7 working days to make it, so yeah, this doesn't feel like it's ready for prime time, and was embarrassing.
Okay.
Okay.
Next story is about Disco Elysium because
no,
it's Sean. Don't worry, it's being reimagined.
I'm not having a go at you. Just this whole thing has been exhausting. Sorry, go on.
Well, don't worry because it's being reimagined for mobile devices to captivate the TikTok user. So this is the quote. They
What?
said, "We intend to captivate the TikTok user with quick hits of compelling story, art, and audio, ultimately creating an all-new, deeply engaging form of entertainment." And so what they've done is they've taken the gameplay, the isometric style, and they've adjusted it so that it will fit, phone screen, and then you swipe through dialogue options. And then, so the narrative lead, Chris Priestman, he said, "With this adaptation, Disco Elysium becomes more accessible than ever. This reimagination is now structured to fit the way people play on mobile, making it effortless to enjoy in short bursts. It's what audiobooks wish they were."
Hold on, shit. This looks pretty good.
I mean, like the idea of them taking a regular game, making it vertical, that sounds cool to me, personally. But I don't know how much of this is like the full game or not. It was.
Well,
I don't think it was
no, I
anything
think it's
clear.
because
surely it's going to be trimmed down because in order to present any version of that full story, that's not going to be suitable for short sessions on a phone. Like they must be reworking the story for it, and that's what I don't trust them with. No shade on the developers. It's just that none of them made the actual game to begin with, and I just
I'm
yeah.
not so
I
sure
don't-
it does
it's
need
not
to
none of
be
them.
trimmed
There's a
down.
huge percentage are left, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it says here, so the game is coming in summer 2025 for Android first, and it's like there's going to be pre-registration
Which is
available right
mad.
now. And
What's wrong with
the-
Android, Matt?
Well, Android first. Come on, like, what
No,
are
no,
you
you're quite right. It's unusual to say the least.
Yeah.
But then what they're doing is the first 2 chapters will be free, and then the rest you unlock with like a single purchase. But then it says that it's a single purchase for ad-free gameplay, which kind of indicates that maybe chapters 1 and 2 have got adverts in them.
Fuck off.
Which
Sorry.
the free ones have got adverts, which sounds a bit weird. But yeah.
It's a
I like
no
the
from me,
idea
dog.
of taking something. Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I think you're right, Sean. I don't think this is what I'm thinking it could potentially be.
Look,
But I do like the idea
right.
of.
There's there isn't inherently any harm in taking a story like that and trying to recontextualize it and make it more suitable for a different audience. It could get more people on board and be like, oh, this is actually really interesting. Maybe I'll play the full thing. I can't.
No, I think, in my opinion, it would have to be the full thing. I think
Yeah.
it doesn't really work if you're chopping bits out of it, or as you say, adapting it to be played in short bursts. I don't specifically agree that it needs to do that anymore. I think there was a time where, mobile gaming was seen as short burst type stuff, whereas these days, I don't know. I think with quick resume. Which is not what what I mean. Like with quickly resuming apps and stuff that you do now, it feels that you can just have that rolling, and that kind of works. I think adapting it for a phone is an interesting concept, but I think you're right. I don't expect it to be what I'm hoping it'll be.
Yeah.
No, because I mean the quote from the narrative lead says that they want to make this structured so it makes it effortless to enjoy in short bursts, which kind of indicates that they must be changing it somehow, like in structure.
I don't see how you do that with that.
No.
If you're conveying that story and that mood, that the tone and how heavy some bits of that game are, I don't see how you make that quick hits for the TikTok generation.
I'm very interested to see them making a vertical rather than just like, a straight port, another landscape mobile game. That makes sense. Now I'm interested in seeing what that's like, but yeah, I don't know about the rest too much, but
yeah. I mean, because it's been a long week because so Zome, such as it is, have also announced their new game.
Yeah,
and Longview Studios, which is one of the other studios that it's like, hey, this is some of the people who made Disco Elysium. They've launched their Kickstarter for Hope Town, which
that's already like smashed the goal, isn't it? Within hours,
it has, yeah. And again, it's this weird. There are definitely people on that team who worked on Disco Elysium. I'm not arguing that point, but then it's like in their Kickstarter video, there's like one guy's on it, and in his little credit thing, it's like ran a team of 15 people who worked on Disco Elysium. It's like, just tell me what he did. Why are you being so vague about it? It's so strange. I mean, the game looks fine. There's like one screenshot. I don't really like the dialogue in it, but it's one screenshot, so.
Was this Hope Town or does that C4
Hope Town,
one?
sorry, this is Hope Town. Yeah. I mean, the new Zone one, I don't think I'm interested because I'm not giving their owners any money, if nothing else. Even if the game's good, I'm out. And then there was another two teams. There's Summer Eternal, who are also making a similar thing, and then there's Red Info, which I think it has the most of the original actual creative leads from Disco Elysium, but then they haven't announced anything yet. So, it's a fucking mess, and I'm just exhausted of thinking about it at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
when's this mobile game coming out? Have they said?
It's summer. It's coming out summer 2025. As I said, just for Android though. Okay, speaking of fucking messes, Life is Strange double exposure sales are apparently a large loss for Square Enix. There's no numbers for this, but Square Enix have said that it lost a lot. Although they previously said the same thing about Guardians of the Galaxy and some of the Tomb Raider games as well.
It's tough, isn't it? Because they do say this about fucking everything they put out, seemingly.
But yeah, I'd like the change of language is often being, didn't meet expectations or missed sales targets. And we're like, well, what really were your sales targets for another Tomb Raider game? They were probably astronomical, or Guardians of the Galaxy. Just the fact they called it a large loss. It's like, yeah.
We're not going to see another one of these, are we? I think they're done.
I think Life is Strange is done.
Well, I think maybe apart from the new game from As Dusk Falls studio, that could be the last studio making these kinds of games. Full stop. I mean, will we get?
You got Don't Nod. Don't Nod. I mean, they Lost Records that came out recently.
Yeah, we'll get part 2 of that.
Big impression, has it?
We'll get part 2 of that, but will we get another one after that? I'm not sure.
Look, I as I've said before, I think there is a market for these games. Clearly, people want to play moral choice, narrative-led games. We need someone to step up and fill that gap, and I think someone will. Telltale were the go-to. They went away. Don't Nod. stepped up. Someone will step up in their place. I don't think it's Don't Nod or Square Enix has planned for Life is Strange. I don't think that is that's coming back, to be honest with you.
We should say, I mean, for anyone who's not listened to the spoiler, well, if you haven't listened to it yet, you're probably never going to, and that's fine. We didn't get on with Life is Strange Double Exposure on the whole. I didn't realise there was some stuff a few months ago, and so I haven't seen this, but apparently there was some stuff on Reddit, people claiming to be Deck 9 staff who worked on Double Exposure, basically saying Square Enix meddled with it and wanted last-minute story changes, which could be a load of bollocks, but it would make sense given what we got in the end. So, I don't know if there's any truth to that. But if that is true, that is a real fucking shame that Square Enix meddled with it and are now saying, oh, well, it sold like shit. When it might well be their fault.
It did feel like it kind of got cut short. As in, development was cut short on that game. That they had a load of ideas and then they ran out of
Well, again,
time
it was
or...
5 episodes. The first 3 episodes were 2 hours long, and the next 2 were 1 hour. And it kind of it was all in it was all in 1 or 2 locations, and none of it made sense. Yeah, you're right. It was okay.
So, final news story is that PowerWash Simulator 2 is coming this year to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Currently not on any Nintendo platforms, but there's speculation that it will come to Switch too. Do you want to hear what the design director at Future Lab, Dan Checker, had to say?
Yes, please.
He said, PowerWash Simulator 2 feels like a natural evolution from its predecessor. The original game's design was all about eliminating anything that detracted from the pure satisfaction of taking something dirty and making it clean. PowerWash Simulator 2 is all about adding in even more avenues for players to achieve that same sense of satisfaction with new tools, features, and quality of life improvements. And there's going to be more info about it in April. And also, apparently, more than 17 million people have played the first game, so it did very well.
Yeah, good game. I don't know what to feel about this. If I'm honest, I can't. I don't know what they could possibly add that would make me get excited for a sequel. There's nothing about it that makes me feel. And I look at the screenshots they were showing, and I was like, nope, this looks like the same. I mean, a ton more levels, fine. Yeah, I will play PowerWash Simulator. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't really get it other than we want to make a sequel to sort of cash in, which is fine. It's totally fine. It's just, as a fan of that series, I'm not too sure what you could possibly add that the DLC stuff for the last one didn't.
Does it not look nice?
To me, it's
about the same.
No, looks about the same.
Okay.
From the footage they've shown, it doesn't look like a massive improvement over the last. But we'll see. And then there's always that worry that they're going to try and overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Your dishwasher's finished. Sure? Look. Let's get on to what you've been playing, because I will start with PowerWash Simulator. So I've been playing the Wallace and Gromit DLC, and I've got to say, I really do like the levels. I like the fact that they seem to be focusing on dirt that's easy to clean now, and not having sudden things that are like, oh no, this is really rusty, you've really got to go for it. But I was a little bit disappointed with the power washer they give you for this one. It's, there's always like a themed power washer that they give you, and it looks a bit different. But when you use the Trident application, the nozzle, it glitches through, the water glitches through the nozzle, and you can see where the water's starting. I just think it's sloppy. Yeah. It's sloppy. I play Power Wash to sort of lose myself, and when I see water glitching, I'm like, I can't. This is, it's unacceptable. Yes, I'm cleaning the wrong trousers. I cleaned the wrong trousers last night, and that's fun, isn't it? But with the glitching water, guys, come on. Improve.
Yeah, just be better. Come on.
Be better. Be better. I hope that gets eliminated from PowerWash Simulator 2. I'm joking, obviously, but I'm also not joking because that is all true. Anyway, I'm playing that fucking game again.
Shit, what was it called, Matt? The one with the puzzle one where you're doing the plants. Fuck, what was it? I can't remember.
Botany Manor?
Botany Manor, thank you.
I hate that game so much.
Hated it. Shh, it's fine. when like you first walked out of that greenhouse and there was some of the greenery was like glitching through the wall. And like,
Yeah.
and I know game dev is a nightmare, and you probably have to make some really hard decisions. But it's like, in many ways, that doesn't matter. But every person who plays this game is going to see that and be like, huh? Like, there's no argument that it's like, well, it's kind of out of the way. They maybe figured people wouldn't notice. Like, it's right in front of you on the critical path. And it's the same with like the water thing. It's like, every person is going to see that, and it's not necessarily going to ruin it, but it's just like. Probably prioritize that.
Yeah,
Fix
just
that.
get rid of that, please, before you add more, buttons to the wrong trousers. Yeah, play PowerWash Simulator. It's good for the soul. Whack a podcast on. Listen to that while you're drifting off. Should we have a quick update on Split Fiction? Because I've played a lot more Split Fiction. James, Matt, you played a lot more.
Yeah, we did a stream on Thursday and we played another 2 hours. So we probably like 4 to 4.5 hours into it yet.
Yeah,
so
about
far.
halfway through.
We played about
halfway.
We played up to, because like when you talked about it on the show, like there was a couple of bits that you sort of like talked about. It's like we've done all those now. I think.
Yeah.
We got
And Sean, you've not played any more with Isaac, no?
No, he's not up for it. I might just have to transfer
I do warn you further. I'm about 2 hours from the end now, or 2.5 hours from the end. I can't imagine Charlie getting anywhere near the levels he needs to get to progress. This gets way harder than It Takes Two ever did, and I'm going to try it with Charlie, but he's really going to struggle. Some of it is quite challenging later on.
If you play it with someone else, you can just choose the chapters anyway, right? It's not like
that's true, but I like the idea of progressing through it though. Like the whole It Takes Two thing, like really worked out. I don't know how you guys think about it. I think it is way better than I was letting on last week. It improves drastically after the first hour and a half or so.
Yeah, we felt that.
A second stream, we enjoyed it way more. I felt like much more opportunity for proper co-op play where I had to really communicate. So it's far better in the opening couple of hours, I think.
And there were a lot more puzzles as well. After you get past that, there was a load more things that you have to stop and think about what you're doing rather than constant action. I did say something to John last night, and be aware that I haven't played the end of the game, which is meant to be amazing. I think It Takes Two is better.
Really?
In what ways?
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me because It Takes Two is incredible. Like, I still think it's one of the best games of the last sort of 5-10 years. So
I think the power ups are better. I think what they do with them is better. I think it's more charming. I think it's more fun to play. Like for example, I want to give an example without ruining something. But you get an item. So what seems to be the thing that you go through when you play these games is that you have a whole section where you're given an upgrade or a weapon or something to do, and you've each got a different thing, and you have to use them together to progress, and then you lose them, and then you get new ones, right? And that, like one of the things that Charlie was saying is, I can't wait to see what we get next, and an example of that in Split Fiction that we've done recently. One, I won't say what it is because I don't want to spoil it, but one lets you fly and the other one lets you climb up things, right? But never does it feel like you're combining those skills together. Whereas It Takes Two, one, you have like this gunk that you can spray and the other one's got a gun to ignite it. So it always felt like we've got to combine
like
these
the
things
stuff with
to progress.
like the stuff with the hammer and the nails and stuff like that, where you
you've got to work together on it.
Yeah, whereas this one is more, well, you do this and I'll do this. And I'll see you in a minute.
And there's a lot of times where it says, right, you two are going to go off in two different directions here, and then you'll meet at the end. And it just feels like, well, I'm doing a bit on this side and you're doing a bit on that side. We're not really helping each other. And there's loads of, don't get me wrong, there's loads of bits where you're helping each other. But, like, for example, Phil was talking about the Monkey King bit in this, which was a fun little diversion from the story. But also at the same time, it was a rhythm action bit where we weren't working together. It was just if one of us cocked up, that was it. It was the end, and it was like, well, I don't know. I'm enjoying this, and I think it's a good game. Right, I am not blown away with it yet, and that's what's disappointing me because we're quite far into it now.
I'd say the other thing that I think is a shame with this is I do think it's a shame that there aren't any minigame stuff, because I think what was really great about that with It Takes Two was it kind of broke the pacing up a bit, and it was like it was something else to do for a little bit. I mean, I know this has side stories, but the side stories so far, I mean, we played them on stream, they're pretty intense, and so it's like you're continuously going from one intense thing to another, which is fine. It's really fun. It's great, but it was also nice, like with the mini games, just to sort of like take a breath for a minute and just do something stupid.
Yeah, and
or
also
whatever,
you're not. It's a change of mindset as well. Like suddenly I'm battling
Easy.
John in a little like in a small mini game, and then I'm back to working by side again and all this sort of stuff. And this does have moments of that later on, but not anywhere near as enough as there should be. You've not done the Exploding Star one yet, side story yet, have you?
No.
No, we did miss one earlier, but no, we haven't done that one yet.
Yeah.
You've missed one.
Yeah,
we missed
annoyingly,
one.
yeah. I think it was Grey Dragon Claw. Someone in the chat was like, "You missed one." So I'll bloody we'll have to go back because we want to see all of them. But yeah, I can tell you which one we missed
It
because
better
we
not
missed
be
it.
the Exploding. It's probably the Exploding Star one, yeah, because that's like the best one we've. I should say this as well. Land of the Giants. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that one. Sorry, Grey Dragon Claw's in the chat telling us. This does have moments where it's like holy shit, like loads of moments where you go fucking hell. No, that bit was really really cool. Do not get me wrong.
Like
I just
the bit we were throwing bombs, we thought was brilliant.
that was so funny.
That
I mean, when I
really
watched you guys trying to do that, it was that first level was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, because it was challenging. It was fun to do. It was like very quick to restart. It required us to communicate properly. Like that wasn't just like I'm doing my bit and James does his bit. We were like, hey, throw, catch, throw. Like I thought, and that was what we loved from It Takes Two, and.
I mean, that whole bit, I was so glad because I didn't drink during that stream at all, and I'm really glad because there's no way I could have done that. It just wouldn't have happened. It was,
no chance. Yeah, so it has had some great moments, for sure.
Yeah, and I there are plenty more to come. There are some really good moments in this. There are. I mean, it must know what it's doing. Like, holy shit! Yeah, we missed a side mission as well. I'm watching a clip of what Mock Turtle Super Saiyan. We missed that as well, and that looks absolutely gutting. We might need to go back and do that because that looks amazing. Yeah, I just don't know if overall I'm enjoying the experience as much as I did It Takes Two, and I wonder how much of that is that I'm familiar with these games now, so it's harder to blow my mind, and how much of it is generally pacing and stuff like that. So, yeah, shame really, but apparently we've got the best of it to come. So I'm not.
Yeah, so
I'm not
you've
complaining
played.
too
You
much.
thought you've played like 6-ish hours or 8 hours. How long?
6.5 hours, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Maybe a little bit longer. We reckon we could do it in the next 2 sessions.
Okay.
So we should be all right. But I'm looking forward to finally getting it done.
Yeah, but no, we had great fun on the stream, and if you want to watch the stream, that's on our YouTube channel, of course. But yeah, James wasn't drinking, and that may be for the best given some of the moments we had to get through. But yeah, we're doing it again on Friday. I'm excited to see what is planned for the next couple of hours of that game.
Yeah.
What is? Hold on. What you were talking about drinking games, and you've got an idea on what you're going to do, James?
Yeah. What I was thinking about this is, I mean, this will involve people in the chat who are watching, whereby, you know, when you do like the side stories, maybe it's got to be like, because, you know, like if you fail, you know, somebody's got to basically count how many times each of us fails, and whoever fails the most has to have the drink for that side story.
I mean, I'm up for it, James.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
It's got to be
At
like
one
a
point,
whole
we gotta
can
say-
or whatever.
We're
you
gonna
know.
say every death at one point, weren't we? But then
No, that wouldn't work.
that would be quite bad later on. To be fair,
Yeah.
that would.
Yeah,
it's
the
not
bosses
a
are
good
quite
idea.
tricky. They're good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We will have our final thoughts on that next week, I think. Well, at least I will. I doubt Matt and James will at that point. They've
I
got a little bit
reckon.
longer.
Yeah, I reckon 2 more streams. I reckon if it's gonna be 8 hours.
2 or 3, I would say. We'll see.
Cool. Matt, what else have you been playing?
I've been playing Expelled this week,
Oh, yeah.
and James, you've been playing that as
I've
well,
also
right?
been playing it as well, yeah.
So this is Inkle. It's their next game. They released a game previously called Overboard, which I didn't play. But I hear that was hugely successful, and this came out, and this was it was called something else at first, and then they renamed just like Expelled and Overboard Story. So I think it's it cleared the same type of game. Sean, you must have played Overboard. That feels like a game you would have played.
I did. I was too thick for it. It was kind of because it's built on repetition and exploring different story paths each time. And I was, for some reason, I was just struggling to sort of hold in my head like what I'd done previously and what I needed to change and try out and stuff. And I just kind of got lost with it. And the game does sort of give you tools to help with that, but I don't know, for some reason I fell off it. But yeah, I've been really, really interested in Expelled.
I mean,
keen to hear about it.
That sounds very similar to Expelled.
Okay.
Because it's yeah. I mean.
Yeah, so in Expelled, you play as Verity Amersham, and at the start of the game, another pupil, prefect, falls out the window. She doesn't die, but she falls out the window, and then you're blamed for that. And you can basically, after being blamed for it, and talking to some other people, you can be expelled very quickly, and then the game's basically over. This game can be over in like 20 minutes, but this whole game is about going back and repeating it and changing how you talk in certain conversations, or which clues you pick up during those conversations, or which other parts of the school you explore. But ultimately, you're trying to avoid your expulsion from the school. It starts at like 7:30 in the morning, and then as you visit different areas of the school, talk to different people, time ticks up. You can go to certain classes if you want. You can explore. You can go to where certain people are or aren't to kind of to gain more conversational information. But basically by like 4 or 5 o'clock, if you haven't got the evidence you need to get to prove you're innocent or blame it on someone else, then you're expelled and it's game over essentially. And I'm struggling quite a bit, James. I read a runs at 25-30 minutes. That's cool, but you should game could be done in half in 4 hours. I think I've definitely played over 4 hours, and I'm still like, well, I've got lots of what could be incriminating evidence, but nothing that I've really been able to say, look, this is why it's that person or this person or that person. But also, whenever you meet people, you retain that information that you've learned for subsequent runs. So I can't remember an example now. And also, the trouble is, I don't want to ruin this or spoil this game too much. But you do get information, and there's other things you can get later, which kind of I think allows your character to remember everything. So James, without saying too much, the filth book.
Yes.
Right. Does that just do you need to get it every time? Does that include everything you've learned? That feels like it's like the game saying, hey, if you get this book, you can recall everything you've learned up to that point. But
that's what I assumed, is that you do need to pick that up, because then it you get recall of everything.
Right, okay.
But the problem with doing that is, even if you get that, you do, then obviously you have all the knowledge that you already had, your character has that knowledge, but you still need to pick up items, you still need to have certain conversations to move the story in the right direction. And I mean, I've avoided getting expelled in this. I've managed to do that. Yeah, I've managed to do that.
Oh, so you have basically finished it?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
And that's the thing. And because at this stage now, I'm not sure what I'm doing with this, because the problem is I feel like I ticked off all the things you're supposed to tick off, and then it introduces a whole load of new things as well. And it's got to the stage where it's I'm getting a bit sick of doing the same thing over and over again. Although you can fast forward it, and it has this mechanic which is quite useful, whereby you hold down, I'm playing this on Switch, but you hold down one of the trigger buttons, and then it will skip through dialogue and choose the right options based on ones that you've done before. You can do that, which speeds things up.
Yeah, that's nice touch, yeah.
But it is also a bit kind of but I'm not sure what I'm supposed, it feels like I'm going to have to do this so many times to trigger the right things, because every time that you go to a certain area, like in the school, it means that you obviously can't go to another area, which means you might miss something or whatever. And it's getting a bit tedious at this point. And
that's where I got to with Overboard, so it's kind of a shame. But then loads of people really liked it, like Matt says, it did really well, and everyone seems to like this one too. Maybe, I don't know,
I mean, the dialogue's great. It's really funny. It's really it's got like this like I'd say it's like sort of 30s music like playing in the background, which is pretty cool. But it's just I don't know. And there's certain other mechanics with this as well, whereby you can choose options where you're being rude, like you're being like rude to people.
Yeah, this
or
kind of
slagging people off, and it's like you then get like your character gets like a rating where it becomes like, oh, you're like a bad girl or naughty girl, all this kind of stuff. But I'm still not entirely sure what impact this has, because if you fail a run, you still just go back to the beginning again and then start again, and it's like I'm not sure why this matters if I'm being rude or not, because it doesn't seem to do much.
Yeah, but your naughtiness rating stays the same, doesn't it?
Yeah, but then
so
it doesn't seem to make any difference.
Yeah, so what the game has said, or maybe it's a review of it, like basically say like the naughtiness rating like opens up more dialogue options, and this is not a game where you should be good. Even though I start at first, I'm like, well, if I'm just like being like a good schoolgirl, then like they're not going to kick me out, they're not going to expel me, they're going to like be more understanding of the predicament I'm in. But no, apparently like you basically have to be like a bit catty, a bit kind of sarky to people, and that increases your naughtiness rating or whatever we're going to call it, and that opens up more dialogue options. So it feels kind of counterintuitive, because I want to be like, okay, if I'm trying to clear my name or find out who actually did this and not be just expelled instantly, I'm going to try and be nice and good and courteous. But actually, it feels like I just need to keep doing whatever I can to almost like subtly increase that rating to increase that increase the number of dialogue options. So normally, if there's like 4 options with your friends, I'll normally be like like the one that's a bit sarky, a bit catty. Whereas if it's to a teacher, I generally just like try and be nice. But apparently that's maybe the wrong way of playing it. But like, so this is a game about finding solving a mystery. Ultimately, the mystery is this girl got kicked out, kicked out his window. This glass window was smashed, and you find like a bit of glass in your hair. Now I got that out of my hair, that's cool, but then I put it in someone else's hair thinking, oh brilliant, well they'll probably be like, I want it to be a dialogue option, then saying, oh but look, but the glass is in her hair, she clearly has something to do with this, but that dialogue option never appears, or hasn't appeared yet. So I'm trying to put things into place.
It does.
Okay.
But the trouble is you have to ensure that you've done dialogue with somebody else to ensure that then appears as an option.
Right, okay.
So there's lots of that as well. So this is what I mean by like each run. It's like, yeah, I've got, okay, this next run, I know what I'm trying to achieve here, but then I still have to do all these other things, because if I don't, then I won't get through, to the point at which I can unlock more stuff potentially. So it's like you also have to remember all the steps that you need to go through, and it's like, I don't know, it's as I said, I was really enjoying it and I was really digging it, but then I've got to the stage now where I'm like, I don't really know where to go next with this, because like it's opened up what seems to be a new part of the story, but I don't know what they want me to achieve with this story really. So
when you get expelled, or I guess if you finish the game, you have like a school, like a letter saying that you've been expelled or this and the other, and it kind of has like a very brief synopsis, and then there's 4 like checkboxes essentially. So you've done all those 4, have you, James?
Yeah, I've achieved that.
Okay,
yeah.
and now, so I mean again, I don't know how the story is expanding now, but that kind of feels like you've essentially done it, and now you're in like the end game stuff. Whereas I've only done like the first 2, and I'm like, how the hell do I get the other 2? I'm struggling, but as you say, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the dialogue. I like the route, the kind of runs for snappy. You can reset at any point. You can also reset like a scene you're in at any point. But today I watched the trailer, because I hadn't seen the trailer before, and there's like bits we're very like incredibly early in the game, which is like totally different to mine. So I'm like, how have they got to this scene? How have they changed this scene so massively? When for me that's like the second or third scene in the entire game, but they're like doing all sorts of crazy stuff in it. So I'm excited to see more. I'm gonna keep playing it. At least I want to get the 4 ticks. And I heard so much about Overboard. That I want to see us through, and I'm enjoying it. But I feel like I'm kind of butting my head against the wall slightly and trying to work out the way through, but it's not very smooth. But
so I'm just waiting. I need a breakthrough at this point now to wanting to continue playing. But I just need to do maybe a couple more runs.
I've got 2 questions, James. Is the potting shed relevant in any way?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. Is the pub? I guess all these are relevant. The pub, I assume.
Well, yes.
Because I've been like the tunnels were doing my head in. I was like, you basically lost in this underground maze. And it's like, I'm sure there is like a method to get through it. And I was like, hey, is this really? I saw someone down there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's done. But do I need to keep going back? I mean, it's a mystery game, so I guess
that's where I'm at with those tunnels as well, because I met someone down there, but then it's kind of indicating that I've got to discover more about that place. And which is a bit annoying, because that was one of the things, because it's like, I mean, look, it's tunnels underneath the school and it's dark or whatever, so it's like you need something to explore this. So I was just like, well, where am I supposed to get, like, I thought I'll go to the potting shed. In the shed maybe there's like a torch or there's something I can use for this. Nah, there's nothing like that. So it's like trying to find, I don't know what I need.
Going through them, going like, so it's almost like an old school adventure game. It's like you go through and it'll say like, there's a passage to your left, passage to the right, or you can keep going. I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. Go left. I did that and eventually met someone, and that's fine. And I came back another time and might have dealt out some violence to that person.
You say old school, adventure game. Brute forcing those things was always a nightmare, wasn't it? Yep. Try and use glue on phone and biscuit.
The worst part is that would sometimes be the right solution.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about the art style?
I like it. Yeah, it's nice. It's simplistic. It's gets the job done. I like it.
Right. Yeah, I find it really off-putting.
Really?
Not what it is. Yeah, I think because I've seen a bunch of games that look like this, and I've never enjoyed any of them. So it's like it's by association. I look at games that look like this and go, I don't know. No, it's probably not for me. But
I will say, like when they first announced it, I was a bit like private school for girls in the 1930s, not a setting that is of interest to me. But then I've recently found out you're there as on the you're working class, right? You're there on
you're on a scholarship.
So the whole point is you're a bit of an outsider. So
right.
There's quite a lot of that whole thing running through the game, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, and like that with like religion, of course, as well, and finding out the backstories of the various teachers, and some seem really hard, but actually are as hard as they seem at first. It's good. I'll keep playing it. It's not been smooth so far, but I definitely want to at least get those vortex and kind of get so not expelled. But
James, would I like it?
No, I don't think so.
We'll avoid it.
It sounds like you basically done the main bit anyway, James. Honestly, but
yeah, but it's not done because, as I said, it's like it feels like the story's opened up again now into something else. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Would I like it?
Probably, yeah. You might do actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. James, what else have you been playing?
So I've also been playing. I mean, apart from Split Fiction, I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Okay.
Which I put about 3 to 4 hours into, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to do a classic James thing. I put in like 20 to 25 hours on a weekend.
It's strange, this game for me.
Yeah.
Because I do really want to like it. And there's a lot of things about it that I do like. I think it looks incredible, by the way. Like
it does in places,
the environments. The environments are incredible. Okay, the character models maybe not so much, but the environments look amazing. It's also like it's a very human feeling game.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
Seriously, yeah. It really, that's what it plays on. Like it feels not real, but it feels, really sort of grounded. And I think that's mainly in the writing and the delivery of the lines and stuff. It feels like people talking rather than, like as I said, when I went from playing this for God knows how many hours, then to playing, Lost Tapes, I was just like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, I can totally get that. I mean, it's like, compare this with something like Starfield, or like with the the stilted dialogue and the sort of all that sort of stuff. It's very good for that. Like you do feel like this is a living, breathing world, and which is really cool.
But
I do have some problems with it. And what these are not. These are problems that I feel are kind of stopping me from really getting into it. First of all, the save system makes me nervous to explore.
Yeah.
It really
It's
does.
dreadful.
And because I've lost serious time because of that. Like I did a whole bunch of stuff in that initial, like after you get out the stocks.
Yes.
I spent a lot of time in that town chatting with people, like discovering stuff and everything. And then I wandered off down into one of the fields, and then I got attacked by somebody and killed.
Yep.
And then it's like, okay, retry. And it took me right back to where I just got out the stocks again, and I was like, that's really irritating.
It
Same
should,
thing
yeah.
happened to me. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So the save system, for those of you that haven't played the game, the save system works in two ways really. You either progress in missions, and every time you progress, it's quite generous with how often it saves throughout a mission. But when you're not in a mission and you're just wandering around doing stuff, you can die and lose all that progress unless you drink a consumable, which you have to then brew or buy to keep topped up. Or alternatively, and which is what I do now, press start, go save and quit to main menu. I just use that all the time now. It's annoying because you have to quit to main menu, but the game loads quick enough for me to not care about it. So the only advice I've got for you, James, is that if you feel like something's coming up or you spent a lot of time on it, hit start, save to main menu, and then relaunch the game. It's just worth doing that. I think it's ridiculous that it doesn't have a quick save. I think that's the worst thing about the game. The save system is shit in this, and for a game that's so expansive and at times wants you to go exploring and experiencing towns, it's insane that it puts it on a consumable for you. It's ridiculous.
And especially in a game that, supposedly has this big commitment to historical accuracy. And it's like, oh, here's a special potion you can make that saves your game.
Yeah. There's that, and the fact that it's like particularly in the first 5 to 10 hours, you are skint. You've got no money, and you are really struggling to get through.
Yeah.
Oh, just buy some more saving potion. I can't afford to do that. And the alchemy stuff is too long-winded to really get into. So press start, go to save to menu. You're totally right. It sucks.
And then also, like, combined with that, the combat also makes me feel nervous, and I don't feel like I can engage in fighting at the moment because it always ends up going badly. Especially if there's more. If there's one person, I feel like I can probably just about do it. But if there's more than one person, you're done. And then it's quite irritating because this stops me from feeling like I want to explore because I don't know if I'm going to get set upon at any moment.
I mean, the good news is you don't get set upon that often. Like, it's not something that happens on a regular occurrence, and when it does, 9 times out of 10 you can just run off. And that is an option I took because I didn't get along with the combat, and I still don't love the combat. But I think the more you play it, the more you understand it, and the better you get at it, and the higher armor you get. I'll send you a video that gives you a lot of tips. Like, I didn't realize even until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, where it was like, no, stamina is key here. Don't worry about how much armor you've got on or whatever. If you've got stamina, then you are way more capable in combat than if you're like got low stamina and you're in trouble. I'll send you a video that will help you with that, James.
Is that defined by encumbrance or just a stat you've upgraded?
There's different things, stats. There's how hungry you are. There's all sorts of stuff that goes into that.
See, and that's the other thing which I'm finding the systems in this are quite overwhelming as well. Like, to begin with,
super overwhelming.
And what I don't like is that, like, whenever it brings up like an explainer, the explainer's usually like about 4 pages long of like text, and I'm like, this is quite a lot to take in.
This is all the stuff. This is all the stuff we said in the first week when we were talking about the game, James. So basically, you're picking up on exactly what the issues are. So that's good, because if you were to say I don't like the characters and I don't like the way they talk to each other, I will
it's
go,
not that at all.
Oh, don't play this game then, because there's nothing for you here. But
you dislike all the right things.
you dislike all the things that I dislike about the game.
Yeah.
But you're not at the point yet where it's like you're not seeing what the game's doing yet. So my advice would be, stick with it. Don't be too worried about being shit at the combat, because I was dreadful, and a lot of the missions, as we've said on the podcast before, appear to be combat missions until you work out a way of it not being a combat mission. So if you, it's what I spoke about. I mean, I don't know if you heard or you were listening like a few weeks back. When you play a game like this, there's got to be an element of trust, and you go into it not trusting it. So like I'm playing this game going, yeah, fair enough, but in a bit there's going to be a combat bit that I absolutely cannot do and it's impossible and I'm fucked, right? And I've put all these hours into it and it's going to screw me. And then the more you play, you go, oh no, it's not going to do that. In fact, actually, it's giving me more ways of getting out of conflict. Like I can talk, I'm putting more of my stats into speech and I'm upgrading with perks to do with persuasion and stuff like that. And you could just waltz through the game without, I'm sure there are moments where you have to fight. But I think what was really telling is that there was a scene in this game about 15 hours in that was like, right, you need to fight now. You need a duel one-on-one with someone who's very important in this game and very powerful. And it was the easiest fight that I'd done in the game. And for me, it felt like that was like, yeah, they've got to do this to get through this bit. So we're not going to make this challenging. That's when I started going, okay, all right, I don't need to worry too much. But again, yeah, I've not finished it yet, so that might get worse.
See, and it's like I also feel a bit kind of paralysed with choice as well, because there seems so much to do, like right at the start. Like it throws up like quite a few things to do. Also, you're coming across stuff all the time as well. And it's like, I mean, I started doing that one where you're trying to get your dog back, and it's like there's many, many steps to that, like I seem to be going through. And it is also, it's taking you all over the place as well, which obviously is good because it means you're sort of exploring the map a bit. But then that combined with being nervous about the fact that, is this going to save? Am I going to get killed or something like that? I'm just feeling a bit,
right.
A bit.
So save.
Yeah.
Use that function of saving, quitting to the main menu. Just use that, or use your save snaps. Just take that fear away from it. And also, my own advice is, follow the nose. If you think, oh, I'm going to go and do that, there'll be times where you're like, I've got nothing to do for the rest of the day now. I'm supposed to be waiting until the morning. You can go to sleep and say to the rest, or there'll be part of you that's like, let me go to that pub and see what's going on there and listen to people and talk to people. And then all of a sudden loads of shit will come out of that as well. It's follow your nose with that game. And there'll be moments where you're like, no, fuck it, I'm going to focus on the main story now. And that's fine too. It's totally fine with you doing that.
There was a bit that I did enjoy it, which was very like sort of Fallout kind of thing, where I was just walking through the forest, and there was like this. Have you done that bit with that messenger who's lost his letter, and then he's just like,
yeah.
Oh, I think I have, yeah.
And he's just like, I've lost my letter, and I was like, well, can I help you find it? And he's like, nah, it's not going to find it, and like my boss is going to kill me. This is going to be really angry. Yeah. Then he's like, can you just beat me up a bit, so then it looks like I've been robbed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, so did I.
It's just fun. There's the dialogue in the end. Henry's just like, "Oh, you're right."
It's all that stuff, and you'll grow to love Henry more than you do now. Because at first I was like, I don't know where his motivations are at, and I don't know if I particularly like what side of things he's on, and. That was the best bit of advice I'd heard. Play until the wedding, because when you get through the wedding scene, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, this is doing stuff," and I'm not even realizing it. Like when you're walking through that wedding and you know everyone, it's one of those. It's like I know it's not the same, but it's like watching all the Marvel films and getting to an Avengers one and going, this is a normal scene with just people talking, but I know I've got history with all of these people around this table. This is really fucking weird.
I did enjoy
keep at it, James.
I do enjoy the dialogue as well. That like at the beginning, the dialogue between like Henry and who's the other guy, like the noble. I've forgotten his name.
Hans Capon.
And he's such a dick, and it's just
he's a massive dick.
Yeah,
he is a massive dickhead. And it takes some really interesting twists and turns There's I think we can go into things a little bit more now, but there is a torture scene where it's like it seems this game is quite pro torture at times. It's like people explicitly
I don't know if it's pro torture. It certainly enables it, but I think there's
but there are a lot of
moments to feel conflicted about it.
You are, but there are a lot of lines that say, "Yeah, torture always works." It's like,
and it does. To be fair,
I mean,
like,
there was quite a lot of it during that era as well. I'd imagine.
yeah. Good. I'm worried that you were going to really hate stuff that I loved, and you don't. You hate the stuff that I also hate.
Yeah, it's mostly just functional stuff, like of how things play a bit is my problem with it, and the fact, as I said, it feels like it's stopping me from like really getting into it. But then,
it's that lack of trust. You will get over that, and you will start to trust the game for what it's doing, and then that's when you start those things go from being major issues to minor ones to you just focusing on what makes that game so fucking good. I cannot wait for you to get just do as many side missions as you can before the wedding. That's a bit of advice I've got. Don't worry about progress.
It's a game about collecting stories more than it is.
Yes,
about
100%. It's a lot like The Witcher in that way.
Yeah.
Where it feels like you can go off on a path and experience a 5-hour story without it being part of the story. But if you go into it thinking, I'm not even going to try and see the ending of this, I'm just going to focus on experiencing as much of this as I possibly can. Fucking great game. Okay, all right. I'm a little bit more relaxed now. I was a little bit worried about how you were speaking about this game earlier today. It's starting to worry me. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's all I've got at the moment.
Sean, you're the headline act.
It's more Monster Hunter, isn't it? I wasn't going to go on about it, to be honest.
Disappointing headline act.
He's just playing the hits. It's still love it. Obviously, I've tried to. So last week when we streamed it, I tried to use the bow, and sort of towards the end of the stream was getting to grips with it. But fuck me, it's a lot to take in. This week I'm doing the dual blades, so I think that'll be this week's stream. Still love it. I am reaching the end of what is currently available, which is sort of mad because that's never happened before.
Oh, really? So how long have you played the M game for then so far?
I mean, I'm like 70 hours in or something.
Fucking wow! But the main campaign was like 15, 20, right? So
so the main campaign was
Mama.
20,
Okay.
I think I did about 20 hours on the main campaign. Then the rest has been end games. Well, I mean, the story continues into high rank, but but there will be new stuff in it, so I'm not too worried. Having a fantastic time. I have also played. There's a new Walkabout mini golf course, obviously, because it's a month of the year. This one is Mount Olympus. And as a child, I was a massive nerd for Greek mythology, so it was loads of fun. It's absolutely beautiful. It's all the stuff we say about every fucking course, still true. Turns out it's £3. It's beautiful. Some of the holes are really interesting. You'll have a good time. They've expanded. Have we talked about the staff entrances, Dave?
What are the staff entrances?
Ooh. Right. All I'll say is load the game
Shut up.
And load the game up. You know the little kiosk when you let us on that little island? Have a look behind the desk.
So I've done that, and we went down there, and we got really creeped out, actually.
In the kiosk or behind the kiosk?
Behind the kiosk, you can go down the stairs.
Yeah, okay.
Some stairs
so we went down there. There was a big long corridor,
Yeah.
and we all walked down it, and we were like, and it was getting darker and darker, and we were like, oh, I don't like this. So then we went back up again. So what happens then?
It appears what they are doing is slowly, one by one. So there's all these rooms that are like sealed off. Most of them are just like empty, and there's like red lights and stuff. But then some you can see like, oh, this is stuff from one of the courses. This is like equipment, like props or whatever. And then that means for that course, somewhere in that course, there is a staff entrance to the course for you to find. It doesn't appear to do anything significant other than let you back in to the main lobby through that.
You can exit a course to go.
Yeah. but it's not really clear why that's significant, other than it's like another fun little puzzle to solve. But it was just brilliant. Like, I mean, there's a few months ago they first added. Well, might have been longer ago than that. A few months ago we first found it, and we were like, "Oh shit! Like, how long has this been here? This is amazing!" Like, and yeah. But they seem to be expanding it. So there's now like 3 or 4 courses that have one of these secret entrances. So that's brilliant.
That sounds great.
It's really good. And the Mount Olympus course, like I say, it's fantastic fun. And then doing like the treasure hunt afterwards, I really enjoyed, because it was all, because like as you go through the course, there's like each hole is sort of themed on a different god, right? And because I've been into that stuff in the past, there's like one of the clues that be like mention the blacksmith. Oh, it's Hephaestus. It's hold them before quick. Like, so I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah.
We're in that stage at the moment where we're not playing VR games.
It's mad, isn't it? It happens. Like,
Yeah.
I turned my headset on to play this with my brother the other night, and then I was like, I've bought games, like, because I've just bought them on the app because I had credit or it was on sale, or I was like, oh, brilliant, I want to play that, and then just forgot, because if you're not in the habit of putting the headset on, you just like, yeah.
Yep, mine's been in my drawer. They've added English pool rules to Miracle Pool.
Oh, right.
So like Chet was like, we got to play this. So I'm like, yeah, we will, and we just haven't bothered loading it up. But hopefully next week, because we stopped playing it because the space where I usually do my VR gaming was just full of kitchen.
Right.
So now that's gone, I can play again. So yeah, I'm hoping to get back on Walkabout mini golf, because it is an all timer. I just checked our friend Zeno's playtime on Monster Hunter, Matt.
Oh yeah,
It's over 100 hours already.
Yes, I mean, he was massively into the world.
Sounds like a cool guy.
Yeah, large monsters hunted 278. Is that a lot?
I don't know. I've not seen my total, actually. I mean, it's going to be more than mine. So.
Oh, I can tell you, SOS Quest 76. So you reckon you've hunted more than 278 large monsters?
No.
I think he said less.
I've done more, because I've only done 70 odd hours. So.
Let me have a look. Captain Toss. Here we go. Oh, sorry, listeners. That's his thing.
No, it's gonna be inundated now.
I'm gonna crash my Xbox.
You played 3 days, 3 hours and 34 minutes. 161 large monsters hunted. So you've fallen behind there.
That's a lot of
Falling
monsters.
Embarrassing, to be
behind. Is that what we've been playing? I think that's what we've been playing.
This is a fucking short one, isn't it?
It's good though, isn't
Hang
it? We needed to do one of these.
Yeah. Well, let's see how we.
Don't you just activated Matt?
So yeah, you have. No, I'm not dragging this out, but when is the next big game I should be looking forward to? Like, no, because we've had Monster Hunter, we've had like at one point it was every week, wasn't it?
To be fair, well, Wonder Stop came out this week and is apparently very good. I've been really looking forward to that, so I do want to play that.
Yeah, but I mean like a big super exciting
one. All right.
Okay, the answer's okay. There's an answer.
I'm just waiting for Switch 2
It's all
at this point.
Xbox stuff, isn't it? So isn't South of Midnight soon?
That's right. South of Midnight. I'm interested in.
Expedition 33, Claire Obscure. That's not far off. There's a few. So
Borderlands 4. Sure.
is that soon?
Don't know.
Okay.
He's just naming games. All right, let's stop dragging us out. Let's move on.
Yeah, come on, Dave. Fucking hell.
Atom 4.
Okay, let's stop naming games. I mean, in the next week or two, I wanted to see what's coming out.
Go on then.
Fucking hell.
That is in the next week or two. March 27th.
Oh goddamn, that is soon. That could go either way. I'm excited about it, but I reckon it's going to be.
Who's got their fantasy? Is that you, Sean?
I think it's me. Yeah. So I don't know.
Just look at Rebellion. What they have? Oh my god, they have made a lot of video games, haven't they? Holy shit!
Yeah, they really have.
Wow.
Yes.
Proper British developers as well. So best of luck to them. What's that smug smile format?
We should move on. We've got a history of them.
If you want to.
Do you?
Yeah.
I remember. Sorry.
I don't
Moving
remember.
on. If you want to contact us, send us a question, go to tcgs.co/dear TCGS. Maria Mendieta, stop.
Oh, there's a lot of VR games in there. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Next.
Maria Mendieta says, Dear TCGS Condemned Original Criminals. First of all, thank you, Lindy, for your fascinating question, and thank you to the TCGS hosts for passing the message along. So this was, Lindy and Gabs' message last week asking about favourite hammers in video games. Maria says, to answer that, the sledgehammer in Condemned Criminal Origins tops my list because of its heft, and also it literally opens paths or doors for the player to progress in the story. The mere thought of using one of those to open the coffee room when I work overtime always makes me smile. In honour of Matt's new gaming PC that is not for gaming, my question this week is what each of you would pitch as a convincing reason he should get into the modding scene. Keep up the phenomenal work. Sincerely, Maria.
Okay, are we talking modding of like games or of
so,
hardware or what?
I think modding of games, right?
Yeah.
You can
I mean, I
only
want
really
to
do
see.
on
I want to see Matt like overclock the PC that he's got now.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it as it is without blowing things up. But I will say, like, when I was at college with Matt Morley, in fact, we were making fuckloads of Counter-Strike maps. We were obsessed with using. I don't think that's CS Source at the time, but whatever like the editor was to make Counter-Strike and Half-Life Opposing Force maps, and yeah, we're doing it all the time. And then we started using an Unreal Editor. But that's not really modding, is it? But that's probably about as close as we got. But yeah, we actually go out and like take pictures of textures to put in our levels and all sorts. Great stuff.
I used to mod FIFA on the PC. To have the new kits on it and flags in the crowds and all this sort of stuff. There was a whole community there, and I remember like my flags were. I thought, I could do something different here. Instead of doing a Man United flag, I'm going to do a Wayne Rooney flag. And then someone said, this is a cool idea. And that to me was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. It's like someone said it was a good idea that I didn't do team-based ones. I did player-based ones. No one downloaded it.
I thought I had a really good answer for this, and then I remembered something that makes it not a good answer. But I recently found out there's a Half-Life Alyx mod, which is set in Rapture from Bioshock. I was like, oh man, Matt would find that really cool if he'd played Bioshock.
Having not played the original source material. I mean, maybe we'll get into the modding scene. I don't think it's likely, Marie, but maybe I will. Maybe I bloody will. Yeah, I'm not going to be overclocking this PC, James. I just want it to work without me adding extra stress, frankly.
The whole point is you won't have to overclock it for 10 years.
I just want it to work and not have to touch it, thank you.
I just love it if it's just like 2 or 3 weeks time. It's like
I blew it up.
I need a new CPU.
I need a new PSU. It's all fucking
I was trying to run Half-Life in 7,000 frames a second.
Tempting.
Capone Adam brackets kitchen door says, if you were forced into only having one section in your weekly podcast, what would it be and why?
My God.
Patreon full Nels list, feedback from the listeners, the news, James Fantasy Zone. Sorry, I think it's just very funny calling it James Fantasy Zone. What you've been playing, listeners' questions, or socials.
Obvious, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, socials.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Just
could you
socials.
imagine that?
No, I mean, it has, unfortunately, it has to be what you've been playing.
I think my favourite is feedback.
I
think that's my favourite
questions.
section.
I agree with Matt. I go for what you've been playing.
But imagine, if we just do feedback, so the whole show is feedback, and then based on what? Based on last week's feedback, essentially.
Why not?
Feedback loop.
Yeah.
How many times do we talk about feedback and then go off on tangents? It happens all the time.
I guess so, yeah.
But
there is something to hook onto there, whereas if it's just feedback on feedback, I mean, we're already having listeners ask other listeners questions, so actually maybe at this point, why not?
Also, I think people are annoyed there's been no dishwasher chat this week yet as well, so we need to sort that out.
Well, there has been 60,000 messages in the Discord for that. So.
Yeah, because I go on that Discord, there's new messages in the TCGS chat. I hope people are talking about how cool and funny we are. Oh no, it's more dishwasher chat.
More dishwasher chat, or we mentioned a food type, or it's never about the games. It's never about the games.
No. And that is fine, to be absolutely clear. It's very funny when it's just like, oh no, this is something completely different.
My favourite. Sorry, go on.
We've got I reckon. Well, no, you say what your favourite is.
No, unrelated, just Discord stuff. As I went to live events, there's live events on Discord. It's like popping. There's like hundreds of messages in there. It's just people talking about their man crushes. I mean, which is great to see, frankly. But I was like, fucking hell. It's like this is there's lots of copy in here.
I really love our Discord. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's absolutely the best.
It's superb. It's a really nice place.
tcjust.co/Discord if you want to go there. What's your answer?
We should come up with a joint answer here. We can only have one section. I think socials is out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
Oh yeah, look. Unfortunately, it has to be what you've been playing. Like, if we tell one section, it'll be like what you've been playing this week. That's it. Less exciting.
Sometimes
sure.
that's really bad bit. Whereas feedback's
Sometimes
always
that's really
good.
bad bit. Yeah, that's an episode title.
Exactly.
Sometimes really bad bit.
Matt,
Yeah.
don't try and force your own ones out. You come up with about 9 in the opening
that's a
20
really
minutes.
good. Yeah, sometimes really bad bit. That's confirmed.
Locked in. Yeah, I suppose that's got to be what you've been playing.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? No, it doesn't.
But it would be hilarious if it's just a full Nels list, though.
Yeah, but listen,
Okay, see you next week.
listen
So if
how
you had this
upset we all
podcast,
are.
they just read out the names of people who've given them loads of money.
Yeah, and it's like the whole episode's
leave.
like 10
That's it.
minutes.
That's
10
it.
minutes max.
Listen how
And I'm
disappointed
listening
we are
every
with the answer, though. That all of
Yeah.
us are going, I guess it has to be.
I
what
do
you've been playing."
think feedback
Doesn't-
would be good. It would be quite
Yes.
funny.
Feedback
Very,
based on
very
what,
funny to do a
though?
show that is just, here's what people thought about last week.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Here's what I thought about last week's feedback.
Yes.
Can we do this? Like, just like strip the show back.
No, James,
Just
I've told you
feedback. I was
before,
gonna
you're
say-
not doing even less work.
For a minute then, I thought James was suggesting a side project. I was like, fuck
Yeah.
me.
Not extra work, Sean. No, no.
More work. Yeah.
Alright,
should move
okay.
on.
Yeah,
Well, Anne said the answer is feedback.
feedback, yeah.
Yeah, feedback.
Fine.
Okay. Feedback, Luke, great name, Sean.
With Nail and Pie, brackets Luke Watts says, what's something that you pretended to be a fan of but didn't actually like?
Video games.
Well, ain't that the truth? I don't think I've ever done it. I don't think I've ever pretended
No,
to
me
be a
neither.
fan of something.
I've definitely pretended to be interested in conversations that I'm not interested in. I don't think that's the same.
Yeah. I probably have, but been caught out, and I was like, this is not worth the stress. So,
Yeah, see,
I
'cause,
love
yeah,
that band. Name a song.
Yeah.
I'm not going to right now, actually. I don't really want to, but
Yeah, I don't think I can ever do that. I remember like really giving anime a try, and just you can imagine my face watching Ghost in a Shell.
Oh,
Just
Ghost in the
all
Shell's
just-
good.
I'm sure
That's
it
one of
is.
the good ones.
It wasn't in my
That's one of
eyes.
the few, yeah, you got quite.
you've seen
lucky
Death
there.
Note?
I was like, okay.
Akira? No?
Akira,
Yes.
I watched that film. I thought it was okay, but and then I put an Akira poster up in my bedroom. I don't know.
wow,
Like,
okay.
as I was putting it up, I was thinking, why am I doing this?
I don't even know the story.
What's Jack gonna think if he sees
I know there's that
Why
bike
did
bit.
Turn into the blob and that. I don't. Okay, so it means I don't know.
It is Akira the movie is a bit of a mess because it tries to condense so many books into one film. It doesn't quite work, but it is also hugely influential. Yeah, you see. Sorry, Phil on the chat. So, have you seen any Studio Ghibli stuff
No.
like Spirited Away or?
Oh, none
No,
of them.
stop trying
Like
to get me
Princess
into it. I
Mononoke
don't
and
want to.
oh,
Nope.
oh, they're so good.
They are,
They're
right?
incredible.
Really fucking.
It's
Spirited
good
Away.
as good as Up.
Yeah,
Yeah, Spirited Away probably. Yeah.
Spirited Away is
Don't-
No, they
don't believe you.
A lot of those films really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
Oh,
believe you.
God, that makes me want to watch them
Even-
again. Yeah. Yeah, is that the Fireflies one? Is that something-
Grave of the
Grave
Fireflies.
Yeah, I've seen
Fireflies,
that. I've seen Mononoke. I've seen Spirited
So
Away.
upsetting.
What else is there? I mean, there's another one.
Monsters Inc. University.
Okay, we're just listing films at this
We are
point.
just listening.
Can we just-
Princess Mononoke is hands down probably my favourite film of all time.
See, this is why I don't want to get into anime, because I turn into someone who forgets the conversation and just lists anime. I don't want that in my life, thank you.
No, but we've just listed all the good ones. That's it. You're done now.
Oh, is that it? We're done now. are we?
I think James and I spoke about this on the stream. I was saying, is there not like a live action Akira being made? Or
I mean, that's been on and off. for
I just googled it and there's like about a
decades
million
at this point.
attempts and the answer's no.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's like an Akira reference in Split Fiction, isn't there?
There
With, like,
is.
the bike skid.
flies.
Tell you what,
Mate.
the live action One Piece was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Is that a
The
Netflix
family
series?
loved
I saw a
it.
trailer for that. Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah,
I've not seen or read One Piece, but
So I've watched all of One Piece, and I'm still waiting for it to come back at this time. And I had very low expectations, but the family loved it. They thought it was great. It's pretty good.
That's the other thing with Split Fiction. I mean, it really does reference everything constantly. Like, it's relentless with its stealing ideas and referencing stuff. And I can't remember. Maybe it was you that said it, Sean. It was like, or it might have been on another podcast. I can't remember. But it was like, so the story is that all of these writers that they're nicking stories from are all shit writers, are they? Because this is all like
All
stolen
nicking
ideas.
I mean, it's
from
pretty
other
rote
things.
stuff in like the stories we're playing for anyway. I mean,
It's mad. Yeah, but watch it. Like, I think your next play session, you'll be like, okay, this is just this bit in this game now.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a
odd.
critique of like the creative.
Yes, I think that's what
creative
they're going
bankruptcy
for.
and stuff. Yeah.
But also the not the twists, but the reveals about the characters are so fucking dumb. Like,
that's a shame.
yeah. I mean, that like the example I give, and this is very early on in the game, is how one of them turns around to the other and goes, "That story seems to all be about debt. Is everything okay?" No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not about debt at all.
Yeah, we talked about
And you're
this last
going,
week, didn't
it's about debt.
we?
It's like, I don't know.
So at this point, you're saying you prefer the characters from It Takes Two than Split Fiction?
Believe it or not, yes.
They were funnier. Give you
They
that.
were funnier. There was a little bit of like you. I'm waiting for a Dr. Hakim reference in this though.
Yeah.
I've not had that yet.
Yeah, like when you had the dance off, I really thought that was going to be kind of Hakim coded. But
Yeah.
I like the fact you
It
saw
was.
the elephant in an earlier scene.
Yeah, I'd heard that. I don't think I'd seen that. So apparently you can pull its leg off.
Yeah, I shot it. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good times.
Alright. Cool.
Have I answered your question?
Monsieur Ondieu says, Bonjour LCGS. See what he's done there? Le Computer Game Show. I have some questions for the hosts. Sean Bell. EDF, Dynasty Warriors, and Monster Hunter have all had new big games that move them further into the mainstream. Do you have any new obscure interests? No, I'm feeling quite redundant now, to be honest. I don't need to. Like,
One
new
of
Monster Hunter.
us.
It's like, yeah,
One of
it's
us.
sold millions. Who cares? Fuck it, I don't have to
Hate that
argue
now.
with anyone
Hate
about
that.
it anymore. Yeah. No, it's nice. It's a nice feeling that all the things I used to have to shout at people to play, it's just like, yes, they're all doing all right now, and it's.
But
because of
EDF,
me.
would you not want like a full bells and whistles, ray traced up the arse, like looking stunning
no, 'cause that would
EDF game?
spoil it. It's EDF has to be a little bit shit.
Yeah.
That's the part of the charm. I'd prefer a more stable frame rate, but but I'm down with them always being a little bit wonky. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean EDF 6, I think it did all right. I don't think EDF's like in the mainstream the way that like Monster Hunter is now. But yeah, no, yeah, I don't think. I mean, that Two Human sequel's not arriving anytime soon. Maybe one day. Yeah, there's not many like niche series that I'm like, no, please play this one. It's like that's all sort of over now for me. I think it's nice. I can chill out. James Farley, why are you not playing Monster Hunter?
Because the series intimidates me, and also I just feel it would be such a time sink, and I've already got so many things to play at the moment. It's not because I've got anything particularly against it. I just feel, I don't think I can get into it.
I should say that was the listener's question, not me just having a go at you.
It's all right.
Matt Murray, you said your new PC is not for games, assuming you have a way to play with a controller and on your preferred screen. What is keeping you away from the PC gaming leap?
Well, it's just time. But no, I did connect my pad to my PC the other day. I was amazed how quick it just connected and put on like big picture mode in Steam. I was like, oh, this is like a whole new world. But haven't found time yet, but I will do. I mean, now you said I can get Cyberpunk for 20 odd quid. Maybe that's the thing to.
It is the
Tempt me.
GOG.com version. I should have mentioned that at the time. That was
Can you not put them into
cheated.
Steam, or how does that
you
work?
can, to be fair. You can just add it as a non-Steam game. Yeah. Then he also says, David Turner, why are you not playing Monster Hunter?
I don't want to play that game.
That's fine. That's fair enough. And he says, au revoir, which is French.
Okay.
John
what?
Collins.
Can't answer it. Can't answer that question.
He says, hello there. I played both A Plague Tale games. And now that I've finished them, I've got post-game depression. This happens to me all the time whenever I finish a game, and it takes me about 2 weeks before I can start anything new. You learn the controls, the game mechanics, you get into the world building and the characters and the story, and then when you finish it, it's over. Played it, enjoyed it, still think about it, but now it's over and there's no reason to play again. Then when you start playing something new, you try the controls from the previous game you played, and obviously the controls aren't the same for every game, and it can get frustrating for me. Do you ever get post-game depression, and what would you recommend to get past it? There are loads of games in my backlog, but this makes it worse.
I think you need something to play in between stuff sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like in between, like embarking on like a big new project or whatever.
Palette cleanser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need something which is just. I mean, I just play football games to do that, and then yeah.
I think also it's fine to accept that maybe like watch some films, get in some new music, or
Read a book.
Read a book.
Have a wank.
Touching grass, mate.
A wank.
Let's not do it. No.
It's something will always come along. I've been in that funk so many times before, and then an Arcade Paradise comes out of nowhere. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, oh my god, I'm fully back into the world of video games again. It's usually something that's very different from what you've just played, because you will be comparing it to that game throughout, and there's always that, as you say, that intimidation factor when you start a new game. You're like, oh, am I really going to go through learning another world and another? Do you know? Am I going to go through this all again? So that always puts you off a little bit when you start, but keep up the doodling. You'll get there.
Keep up doodling, yeah. What happens to me is similar issues. That like the first few hours of a game, if it's like a longer game, I'm like, I just kind of. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to like get into it and really get your head around the controls and like the rhythm of the game and how, and then when you're fully into it and you're like, that's all you want to play and you don't want to play or see or do anything else, and then you're like, oh, I wish I was disengaged at the opening 2 or 3 hours, but that's just learning a game, I guess. I mean, I definitely got that with the most recent Final Fantasy games where I'm like, well, yes, a lot, and then that last like 30-40 hours I just like smash through it because I was like fully in the zone. I love that feeling, but sometimes it's hard to get into it. But yeah,
sorry, go on.
No, go on. I was done.
I'm always sort of fascinated / disturbed by like how differently I can interpret a game depending on what mood I'm in or how tired I am. Like something that once seemed shit can later be brilliant. I'm like, what was wrong with me when I played this? And it's like, well, I didn't have enough sleep or something. You think, well, it was still basically me. I still like the same things. Why didn't it click then? And it's just that stuff can just have such an impact on you. And something can be brilliant and you're just not in the mood for it for whatever reason. So I think, like, and if you do have a big backlog, I think it's fine to like play stuff for 20 minutes and be like, nah, not now.
Yeah,
or
totally.
Just move on to something else and like allow yourself, like, because I think what's so daunting is when if you've just finished like a 50-hour game, the next time you pick something up, your brain's like, well, this is going to be the next 50 hours. Or whatever. But it doesn't have to be that way. I think it's okay to allow yourself the space to be like, this isn't right for me now. I can just move on to something else. And that's not a problem.
We've all been there.
We have. Last question comes from Eskil Wendell. It says, oi, 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 I've been hacking at the ice in our driveway with a pitchfork to make it melt faster all day. What was the snow and ice like when you were young? It's dog shit compared to my childhood. Cheers. That's about right.
I had none.
I feel like
It does always feel like that, doesn't it? I remember like deep snow sometimes where I lived, and that never happens anymore.
Well, it's the opposite for me. I mean, I obviously grew up in Bognor, where it's like, on the beach, air. So we had one snow day ever, and that was barely snow. But we had one snow day at school, and when I went to uni in Teesside, it was like, fucking hell, there's snow up here. It was crazy. We literally spent all day in the snow. It's bonkers. Probably had other things we probably should be doing, but I just didn't really have any snow. It was like, we had a bit of frost. There's nothing down in Bognor, but I was up here in Yorkshire. Yeah, loads all the time. It's kind of annoying.
I'm a big
I
fan
can't
of
remember
snow.
the last time I enjoyed the snow.
Oh really? I fucking love it.
There was one day where it was like it was quite snowy, wasn't it? Because Charlie was born. We did a snowman, so it would have been within the last 6 years we had a decent amount of snow. Mm-hmm. But you don't understand, David. I've been in Germany. What's the snow like in Germany?
You can't get snow in Germany.
Can you not? All
we've
the
had
snow
5
shops shut at 5 p.m.
We've had it a couple of times, but
You're going to the city for snow, David.
Nothing special. Yeah.
Really? That's true.
Nothing special. All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, the first hour or two or day or two is lovely, and then get slushy. But I just didn't have no memories of school. No snow days for me.
Obviously, when it goes slushy on the roads, that's a fucking nightmare. But
Fun to drive though.
Got
Sometimes.
to be careful. Black ice. Ice. You have to be careful.
that's true.
Fucking hell, we're all old. Right, we're done. Is that it for the? Yeah, I know it is. Socials, Matt.
Yes, we got a bunch of streams this week. Sean is streaming Monster Hunter Wilds. That is Thursday from 9 p.m. Me and James are streaming Split Fiction Friday from 9. And if you're a patron supporter, the 850 and above tier, we're all playing Fortnite. And we're going to get a Victory Royale on Sunday night.
We're against the bots, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we need to get 2 because the first one probably will be like given to us on a plate. Anyway, the first 2, Monster Hunter Wilds and Split Fiction on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/TCGSco and follow us if you want, and give us your free sub if you've got an Amazon account and Twitch Prime account. Connect them and you get a free sub to go to our channel or search TCGS on the app, and they'll be for everyone. But if you're a patron supporter, you can watch us play Fortnite on Sunday night from 9. Details will be out this week if you're at the requisite tier. Our website is tcgs.co, and that has links to our podcasts, our socials, our Discord, everything. Blue Sky counts as all on the store as well. So yeah, tcgs.co is the only place you need to go to.
And we will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for living it. We'll see you next week for some more video game chit chat. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Ta-ra.